today we're doing Heaven and High Warrior. Partial potsherd farming here, but also a little bit of a requested thing that I've had people come in for was like, hey, can you clear on Warrior without landmines? So that's kind of what we are focusing on. Is we're going to, once we get up to 71 plus, we will do no landmines at all. Like I'll just like purposely avoid intentional landmines. I mean, I could hit one, but I'm gonna avoid intentional landmines and try to go for the clear that way. So that's what we'll be doing today. And then we're starting off. We tossed this idea out a couple days ago. People were jumping on it, giving some ideas, and one big thanks to Willow who gave me like one starter kit for the bingo card, and that's what we have now. So we're gonna see how this goes. Basically, this what I'm doing here is more just literally either a demo or just a trial or something. There's so many logistics that can happen with it, between the actual challenges to hit on top of actually maintaining it. So we'll just go with it. Even if like we get a line, I might keep it up for the rest of the run to see like maybe how many we fill. I don't know. Also, probably chat will help. Chat will help with trying to. If I miss one, if you guys see it, then let me know. Could I make it bigger? I'm gonna go in. I did set this up in a way because it was in relation to my UI in here. So let me see if you see it, Jims, if you think it should be bigger too. I'm also gonna look at it. The troubling part is actually where to put this thing. That's going to be the hard part. So like I could make it bigger, but it might start blocking some of the other UI, you know? It's slightly hard to read when not full screen. Yeah, that's the problem too. That's part of what I'm trying to see about how we do this. I don't know if I go with like a different UI as well. Like maybe we do like my other thingy, that I use for like speeds and stuff. But is it like abysmally small, or is it acceptable? What do you think? What do you guys think? Also, Hank, sorry about the 141 loss on the gargoyle. They are very bad. Wallen, good to see you. Terrell, good to see you. You guys, hope you're having a good day. I think my problem, well, not my problem, but my challenge with this is remembering everything on the list and then trying to actually check it off, because I feel like I'm gonna totally miss some things. I do wonder if like it benefits me to have maybe something that we're working with on a constant basis, or like I just condition myself that we get used to something and then go that way. I don't know. Looks fine to you? I mean, it also depends. I mean, it's probably like if you're on mobile, it probably is ass. If you have a smaller monitor, it's probably ass. And yeah, I mean, I'm very much open to what you guys think. I think it would at most cover the right part of the item effect. Make it as wide as the keyboard, but you're not gonna get that many anyway. Okay, fair. Let me try to see if I can make it a little bit bigger. That's what I was curious about too. Well, if it starts covering, we can talk about it, right? So hold on, I gotta actually get the text is small a bit. And I also wonder if like we should do it where like maybe it isn't so wordy, you know? Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it'll be fine as big as the keyboard. Okay, let me see if we get any effects that are going to be that are gonna cover it. Let's try that. Probably still want to style it a little bit better. I think mobile's screwed a bit. Yeah, actually, you're right. Is much better? Okay. Like, I don't want it to, like, my whole thing too is, like, not to have too much screen flutter, but I think that part of the screen, there isn't much going on, so I think it'll be fine. Much better. Okay. If it starts covering something, do let me know. Because I had actually considered doing it with our speedrun scene, but then I don't have that much real estate with the speedrun scene either, you know? So let me get the guard back in. Some of the scores could be shortened and still get past if you wanted, but it's okay. Yeah, I'm thinking about that too. Like, we have to be pretty clever about some of the wording to make it like shorter. But yeah, and then and like what I'd be curious about too is I mean, first I want to see how long it takes to like maybe do this. Like, I think the first couple of bit, I want to do it where we're just playing normally and see if we just run into a couple things. I mean, a couple things on the board are like intentional that you have to do. You have to kind of go out of your way to do it. But there could be a couple, which we do have. They are set to on an RNG basis. Really? Is that the wall you guys are talking about? That it probably may just fill up. Okay, like on its own. Like getting a big room would be one that could just fill up, I imagine. Forgot to suggest single side, don't jump for a single floor. That could be an interesting one. I mean, that could be an easy fill though, right? And I could also like cheat it by just disabling jump off my spacebar, but it's still a fair idea, you know. Oop, I didn't get the chest. I looked up a quick look at the warrior adjustments for DT, just to see if there was anything noteworthy, and all I saw was basically the single target is doing more damage and the AoEs are doing less damage. That's about it. So nothing changed, but I mean, not gonna really argue about the higher damage, that's for sure. I assume big room. Well, here's the thing that we're also like, we're also kind of, I'm curious about, that we're kind of discussing it a little bit in Discord, like what would be the best effective floor to start this in. I know like a lot of us were thinking like maybe 61 plus, 71 plus. I don't know if there's any value, if it's good or bad in terms of starting at the lower floor. And you're right, no, you're smart, because right, if we have the big room, I mean, I could put a little thing saying except 15. You could do that too if you started at 1. There's so many things that I wanna get into this, but I figured amongst all the little details that we're gonna nitpick onto this, I just had to try it out. Like, I just see what happens, you know, try it out, see if my brain could even keep up with what's here, and then yeah, go from there essentially, you know. Because I think there's so many avenues this could go into. I mean, the one that I would like it to go into is more the competitive part of it, that you have 2, 3, or 4 gamers that are trying to clear the board as fast as possible, or get a bingo faster than the other, so it makes it a little competitive that way. There can be some value, I feel like, maybe doing it solo like we are now. But it's just a lot of questions that I figured, let's just put it out there. Maybe people might be interested in giving it a shot. Maybe you guys have some feedback, and then start just kind of evolving it over time. Would be worth numbering the squares if you want chat to help them when triggered. Numbering them? What do you mean? I guess like if you guys see something, instead of typing out, hey, you got the accursed horde, you would just be like N5. A5. He triggered 14. We could do that. Okay. I need a notepad. Wait, I'll do it on my phone. That's not a bad idea for like feedback. Let me get a notepad now. Bingo ideas. Number them. And that would be easy because, well, I do wonder, because I'm not sure if the bingo board that I'm using actually has the ability to put numbers, but I could also just edit, maybe I can edit the thing, I'm not sure. But yeah, like, if like, you just put, like, basically 1 to 5 down the line, that's all you need, right? Because it'll be like B1, O1, and 5, yeah, I mean, that'll be all you need. It doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. Well, you go with the bingo, right? So you just need you either do a letter or, no, you wouldn't, well, you could do a letter, but you would just have it on the sign, so it just goes like traditional bingo. When they do it in like, oh, number them on the side for chat. Okay. Oh, and then what's up, Ada? Less wordy, okay. I triggered 14. Hold on. What did I do? Oh, landmine. Wait, no, that was a landmine. Did I do a landmine? No, I did an exploding chest, right? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Or did I see a respawn? Maybe you saw a respawn. As long as you don't use numbers of the same letters on both sides, it's a unique matter. Yeah. Wait, oh, I just actually realized that I don't have, because I'm looking at the full screen. You guys don't see the BINGO because I cropped it. Okay. Got it. I see the BINGO, but I don't see the numbers on them. Killing until blaming Windows for restarting my upscan rip. Well, I mean, yeah, it kind of sucks. I actually have a PC, not my PC, one of my parents' PC that's also being weird about just randomly resetting in like the middle of the day, and I'm trying to figure out why it's happening. Now my PCs don't do it because I run a tight ship over here, but like I looked at the settings and everything is off. That's why it's weird. You know. 14 was just a random exam. Oh, I see. 8. Okay, yeah. Okay. I was under this impression that you guys can see BINGO, but you can't see it because I cropped it. At least my upload speed is fast. My upload speed, yeah, I mean, not that much faster. I mean, it is faster. What's up, Cog? I got killed by a slime on floor 14. It used Rapture in one-shots. Yes, it does. Yeah, it does it in, what's the timer? Was it like 20-something seconds it uses it? So yeah, that is a slime special. Have to prioritize and kill them. Sometimes it's so funny. I feel like people will die to slimes unlike their like subsequent run, not like the first time. It's funny. I think I've heard that a lot happen too. I can't be out in 3, right? I didn't think so. Fortune Magside Big Room, overcap would be pretty easy. Stupid bees early in PvP math pool. Oh, wait, you math pool bees? Use hard, yeah. Yo, what up? Am I keeping track of bingo? Good question.
I'm keeping track of the bingo.
I'm kind of looking over once in a while, but I think it's gonna be a class participation situation, Divtech. I'll be honest. I think this will be more like a feedback situation, because I'm sure I'm gonna miss something. I think, like, especially it being the first time around, where I don't 100% know all the pieces, that it's not in my brain, so it'll just forget. Thank you for the 53 Divtech. I appreciate you, man. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, I'm just throwing this out there, so we'll figure it out, right? We'll make it up as we go. Because I feel like if this becomes something that you can do in like a competitive situation, right? If you're doing in like a PvP or an event, I feel like you'd have an overseer that's probably looking at it, and then that's also looking at it and filling the thingy. I'm sure the runner would probably familiarize themselves with the thingy and, like, you know, strategize around it too. But that's gonna be like way later into the future. I think for now, it's gonna be like literally just chat participation. Like, you can even be so much to be like, hey, you're getting close to this one, maybe you should check this one. Like, I mean, partial backseating, which is perfectly fine over here, so something along those lines. When I saw the post about it, I kind of wanted to try it myself and just mark down which floor each one happened until I got bingo. But there's so much stuff to do right now. It's gonna have to be... Yeah, no, I mean, this is why, like, there's a lot going on, right? And this idea was just super fresh. And this will be something over time. This will be something that... I guess I'd like it to be a little bit more refined by the time we get to, I guess, the first content dry situation. That people are vibing and they start returning to Deep Dungeon. That, like, when they start hopping back, there'll be all these things presented to them. That's kind of where I'm thinking. For competitive blackout would be fun in that setting. Competitive blackout would be fun in that setting. What do you mean? Was it something I just said, Elvis? It's a great idea. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, same. Same. I mean, I think we have to also, like, really, you know, adjust it to how Deep Dungeon goes, which will be up to us to really do, right? I mean, there's some inner details that only really we know about the content that will make sense for it, you know? And then maybe at some point it'll also be like, you get us guys looking into it, editing it, managing it, and then someone who's like new to Deep Dungeon, they hop it open and just adds like an extra player to the run. course, I wonder how you're going to maintain it, but I guess that's a problem that I will look into later. Or rather, I'm not looking for that to be a problem we solve at the moment. I'm looking for Hiruko and Gozu to populate again so I can finish this up. But for now leveling, I suppose. Blackout is when 2 runners fill the same board. First to 13 wins. First to get 13 wins. Oh, I see what you mean. So you like to fill up the whole thing. Yeah, I think that would be cool. Like a 2v2 except it's still solo would be neat. I mean, like, you could even... I mean, aside from maybe starting at the same floor, you could also do... Well, I don't know if you want to do different floors. I think you still want the entertainment value of the run in itself, right? But, like, you don't want to just, like, start at floor 1 and then start farming the thingies. It still wants to be the harder stuff. 13 out of 25. Yeah, that might be... I mean, I guess it also doesn't have to adhere to a line, right? You can pick a shape or something like that, or like you said, like a number. Yeah, that could also be a thing too. Like, okay, let's say you do a run where it's 81 to 100, and then you do like that. Hold on, I'm gonna do both of those. You do a run where it's 81 to 100, and so the run will inevitably end. But you just basically fill it as much as you can. So competitive blackout. 13 or more. Most blocks filled by end. Okay. Yo, Graha, how you doing? Welcome in. Check Elden Ring Blackout bingo videos. Okay. Like if we get 3 palms before 80 does, I get it. No, you can't. Oh, I see what you mean. Is that what you mean by the blackout thingy? So like if someone gets it, then the other person can, kind of thing. Doing alright, still bummed I wiped my soul at 30. Hey, it's okay. It's all progress and learning. That's what is that what you meant, Elvis? I think my interpretation of what you said was different. That's what you meant. Okay. Hold on. Finish block first. Okay. Yeah, that would be a neat way to do a race that way. Yeah, for sure. I like that one. Like, first player to fill the file wins, second player loses. Yeah. I actually didn't think of it in that fashion as well. I was just thinking it on strictly, getting a line of bingo, but yeah, that's a neat way of doing it too. I think this current board would definitely have to be just in case, because some of the blocks simply don't happen in many runs. Yes, so this one, no, it's an otter, it's not a chirp. Willow provided this one, and his interpretation was a mix of things, which is what I said too. Like originally, I'm like, let's do like, what if we do a mix of skill and RNG and so on and so forth, right? So that's what that is that you're gonna run into like a mix of things that you will just naturally run into, or that you have to make some effort into. And then we were kind of talking about in Discord a little bit, where like, okay, well, you could do it in a way where it is full RNG, or you could do it in a way where it's full skill, that you have to make the effort to do it, kind of thing. Whichever one is better, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure both can work. And that's kind of where, you want to, I guess, see and try it out. Hey Immortal, Blackout is just filling the whole card. Gotcha. If only we could get the same seed, so many things could be done for competitive events. Well, we could get the same seed, but the seed only gives you the map. That's the thing, right? It doesn't give you the it doesn't make the same chests and everything. Same RNG, yeah. Maybe one day. Maybe just before the 1 to 40 EO nerf, and just after the weapon glow die, that you can dye any weapon to search any glow that you want to, somewhere around there. Maybe also before the friends list. Maybe that'll happen before the friends list comes out. I would imagine if you want to make it competitive, then leaning more into skill, That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I mean, I think there are certain RNG factors that can still make it competitive, right? Like for instance, Rory, like getting 3 raising or getting 3 Magicites. That could happen immediately, or that could happen until like 71, right? Assuming you start at the lower floors, or there's certain other things. First to like 3 strengths, first to 3 steals, stuff like that. And of course, again, the runners will know, the guys who've done Deep Dungeon for a while will know how potentially long it'll take to get to that. You could even cater it to the way where you almost route the path, depending on the card. But finding which one works like that is still the bigger question. Wouldn't work for Black Note. Okay, how do you mean? Why wouldn't you think it works for Black Note? What's your thinking on it? Leave EO alone. But as just a fun thing, having RNG scores could be very good. Because, okay, here's another thought, right? Here's another thought. Let's look at this as a broader range of stuff. Now, I'm thinking of it as like, okay, let's grab some of the best runners. Doesn't necessarily have to be the best runners. It could just be guys who are familiar in the speedrun scene or like, you know, the charity scene, and makes this competitive in a way. So you submit it, it's competitive, it's a good show, you know, guys are not going to lose a run, they're just going to be going for the run, making risks, so on and so forth. But then you could also have it in a sense of someone who may have done Deep Dungeon casually, or even do it as a group. And then they're introduced into this, and now you can do it like, you know, a bit more of a chill thing where you're not going for like wild-ass skill plays, but you do actually have like something that's more RNG that they run into, a little bit more of like today, where there'll be a little bit of participation from the viewers, etc. And I think there could be value for both. It's just what is going to be ideal for those different categories, right? Hey Duke. Couple groups going at it would be definitely yeah. A tournament. Yeah, a tournament, you know, depending on the criteria of said tournament. So for Blackout, you would need to decide what tile to go for, but you don't know if the other player goes for it as well. You learn about it only if they mark the tiles complete. For example, Kenko Gloom, I imagine both players do it at the same time. Interesting. More decision making. On the exit doesn't require decision making. For example, yeah, true. That's completely true. Yeah. And that's just... But then, would there... So, this is like a pure question out of curiosity, Elvis. Would there be value to still have something that is RNG, because it could tilt the competition to be pushing for something more? You know? Do you think there would be value in something like that? Like, not... Like, let's say, 80-20%. 80% skill with like a little bit of RNG sprinkled in that you can't control, but it could still happen. But then also maybe, possibly, if you're doing a run where you have a 2v2 situation, 2 solo runners versus 2 solo runners, and they're like teamed together, that if you then inject something with RNG, you have a higher chance of it to happen because you're now dealing with 2 file punches than single file. Or do you think there would be more value simply keeping it as like a kind of a skill-based kind of thing? Or, even further, if you're doing a tournament style, you have a mix of both, where one does involve RNG, the other doesn't involve RNG. Hey, Sugar Toots, thank you for the follow. I feel like the majority of this run for me will be like literally, we're gonna talk this thing for like the first like 50 floors. I'm just gonna be hitting buttons here, and then by the time we get to 71, I'm like, okay, time to actually play the game. Which would be fine with me, honestly. I mean, we're kind of at that point with this content. F this boss. So what got you with this boss, bro, huh? Like, do you remember, like, what was the problem with this boss? What tripped you up or something? Do you want any, like, explanation of this boss, etc.? Or, like, is what you're saying enough for a value for you to pick up something from it? I don't I had to go into the clouds. I thought I had to. Oh, yeah, you have to go in. So, like, if you don't go in, you get the bone stack, right? So if I go here, they explode. And then you get the bone stack. So yeah, if you go into the cloud, you clear up a cloud, because you go into it, and then as long as you stay in that spot, the surrounding AoEs go off, and you don't take the bone. Yeah. You know what? That's fair. That's not obvious. And honestly, like, they do a lot better quality of life in the game and battle content now. Especially, I think, as with maybe Endwalker, where, like, even them going back into old dungeons, there's a lot more visuals that show you, like, what you should probably do and probably not do. And I would say this is still part of the old content, and it's just like, okay, figure it out. Either know it or, you know, find out the hard way kind of thing. Yeah, you know, I don't remember, like, I think I probably did this in a party before. I don't remember how I learned about the situation, but... I mean, for solo, bingo RNG is fine. For competitive skills important. You need to actually choose what to go for, but that being said, small RNG like 5 months before is fine, even though one might not get it. Okay. I wonder if it's gonna be a case, Elvis, of like, we just have to try it to see, right? Just like give it to a bunch of people, do an event, and then see if it works out or not. Now I do lean into it being a little bit more, you know, way harder into mostly skill. I'm not sure about 100% skill, but like, I think having a sprinkle of RNG involved might make it interesting. Like, if you do, like, I know one of the ones I tossed out there was, like, back-to-back big rooms, which is extremely heavy on the RNG. Like, that's very rare. Or even, like, having an Odin. Mac was saying that you should have put Odin on the board. I'm like, okay, I'll consider it for next time. You know, where that's extremely rare. And that could be, like, maybe, I don't know, it could be the middle part or something, I don't know. But I mean, I know, you're coming from the basis of, like, of experience from other games doing it, right? So I imagine, like, other games probably have that factored in and baked in about the probability of certain things happening on a run, which basically we just need to take that base foundation and apply it to what we know with this content to be able to construct something that could be feasible. That's why I have a problem. My superpower is bad luck. But what if we have a bingo thing that actually favors bad luck? So, like, what would you say is bad luck for you, Immortal? Is it, like, the treasure room on an exit? Is it hitting traps, you know? Like, is it one of those that it is? Because then you could actually have it where, like, you could even have, like, a bad luck bingo board and then boom. Yeah, no, see, but that's the place it is, right? Because it is kind of it's gonna be like a community-based thing. It's gonna be like a community-based thingy, so you could actually cater it like that. RNG can affect what challenges you might go for, which seems good. That's what I'm thinking too, right? So like, if you happen to get one that was pure RNG that all of a sudden puts you in the lead, it would then force the other person to now push for those other ones, because it's like, okay, you could get lucky, or then like you just need to get the other stuff. Yeah, and therein lies also the deep dungeon part of it. It's like, there is certain bits that you would consider RNG that you can manipulate to some extent. Like, okay, for example, one of the ones here is the Altered Treasure Room, right? Well, what if the block is an Altered Treasure Room, and you have veterans that are now spamming affluences, alterations, and flights the entire time to increase the chance of it happening? Now, granted, it's still a very small percentage. Well, that could be a play that you end up doing, which also could affect the run in the long term, because you're trying to force the situation out in a sacrifice of something that may happen later. But if it's gonna give you the win, then you would probably do it because it's possible, right? So there becomes a strategy there. Have I done HoH Vipers? So if so, is it any good? Hey Tarja, we did last week. Is it any good? I think the best way I've been describing Viper for Heaven on High and Palace, Karyuj, if you were to, like, give criteria for a job, like let's say melees in particular, and you're gonna have like these criteria of like what the job can offer, like a review list, okay? And let's say you had mobility, survivability, bloodbath return, damage, so on and so forth. Viper, in my opinion, would basically just be like B, B minus across the board for everything. Mobility is eh, damage is mediocre, survivability is mediocre, bloodbath return is mediocre. Like, it isn't like really bad. Like, let's say monk is like really bad in general because it doesn't have range attack, so that's something to put in there. But then you have something like ninja, who's king at damage and mobility. You have samurai, who's very, very good at damage and pretty good at mobility. You have reaper, who's really good on defensive and damage. And so a lot of the other melee will just be better than Viper in like different attributes, and like Viper just doesn't excel in anything versus the other melee. With that being said, it's still it's a mediocre job. It can clear, it can do the job. If like that's all you really need to know, then that's all you need to really care about, right? But it was a hard run, and yeah, it just doesn't have much in 60 or 70. Different at 90, but Heaven on High was certainly a thing. For the level 30 boss, no sustained potions at 32 as warrior. Difficult. Yes. Yes. So anytime you deal with any bosses, Fox, in Deep Dungeon in general, more really Palace of the Dead, that you want to be closer to the level of the boss. So that boss, 30, is 49. The larger the disparity of your level on the boss, the more... It's like a... There's like a scaling thing that happens. So you're 7 levels different from the enemy. You're not only gonna get hit a lot harder, you're gonna start missing because there's an accuracy decrease with that big of a level. So ideally you want to be minimum, without sustaining potion, as a warrior, you probably want to be minimum like 47, 48 to be able to... I mean, Draw Intuition can probably carry you pretty far, but you don't want that big of a level. So yeah, it would benefit you to like kill a little bit more, to get a little more XP, to get a little bit higher there, and then get that. Especially again if you're running without any sustaining. Hey Altima, how you doing? Thank you, I appreciate it. If there's a tile for both good and bad, I can definitely get behind it. Yeah, and Immortal, that's where we're kind of like having discussions about it and just putting it out there for now to kind of put the idea out in the open. And I'm game to just hear any ideas in general, you know. This is very, very much at infancy. It's the first time that I want to really put it out there, and yeah, it can vary in a multitude of ways. So I think at the end of the day, what you want the victor to get out of the victory. Like, if the victory is supposed to show that the person is the best, RNG scores might feel bad. But if this is an casual competition where peeps are trying to lay back and have fun, then healthy competition, you can laugh it off, can easily welcome lots of RNG blocks. I like that mentality, actually. That's true. That's a good way to put it in a way of how much control you'd want to have on the run. What if we get together 4 the best Deep Dungeon streamers and make them clear 200 as fast as they can? In terms of like a party? Well, actually, there are speedruns, Kanky, of people who do that. I don't know if it's on speedrun.com, I think it is, but we actually do have a group of people who specialize in speedrunning, who do like 1 to 200, 1 to 100, EO, Heaven on High, and so on and so forth. So that does exist. Now, it's not as popular with a lot of people. Like, basically I only know of like 2 groups maximum who's like constantly doing it, but they still have been pushing the limits of it, and it's been really cool to hear it. So people already do that, but getting at the same time, putting aside. Well, I think a 1 to 200 was clocked at, I want to say, if I remember what Raven told me, they clocked a 1 to 200, and like the time that comes to my brain is 3.5 hours, I think. I think it's the time that they gave for like 1 to 200. Or maybe it's like 4 hours or something. Heaven on High was like 230 or something. 1 to 100. Singles? Oh, singles is gonna be... Singles is like 6. Yeah, singles was like 6. Demir, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Speedruns are heavily RNG based. It's not that competitive doing it in a race setting. Whoever gets better RNG wins. Oh, I thought Panky meant a 4-man. Like a literal light party, that's what I thought he meant. They meant, sorry, I don't assume. I know it's been on the no NG side for this on days. Wait. I know. I've been on the no NG side of this for days now. Gotcha. Full party. Yeah. So there have been people who did speedruns for full party, and it's pretty impressive. Now, you just don't get a lot of people doing it, but there have been people who did it, yeah. I mean, I know Ross was trying to get together, like, actual, like, legit races like that and stuff. I mean, he did a solo Heaven on High race for Machinists prior to Eureka Orthos, and I'm sure he definitely is thinking about trying to do it again. And I know there was, like, I think there was, like, 8+ people who attended that competition. So, like, just kind of a fun thing. That was kind of cool. So I think there is an interest in it, and yeah, it just comes down to just, I guess, getting it organized, etc. Of course, like, the harder part that you have is, like, time zones, right? That's the tough part. Like, do you do it, like, segmented in a way? Do you do it at the same time zone? That's gonna be the hard part, but... Hey Clayton, how you doing? Yeah, we're trying out the D-Dungeon Bingo card. This one I would feel like benefits more of a little bit of class participation, because I'm sure I'm gonna miss something, but, you know. I mean, if you guys make me burn an intuition... Oh, you did. JC did make me burn an intuition, by the way. Like 21 minutes ago. But, you know, stuff like that can happen, and we're trying to check out how things go, and seeing what people think about it, tossing ideas out there. But actually, also the meat of this run is not so much the actual bingo, but once we get to 71+, we're going to be avoiding landmine plays on purpose. Usually I like to do landmine plays on Warrior because it's one of the... I've gotten very comfortable on it, but we will intentionally be skipping landmine plays because it's been a big question for lots of people that I've seen. Hey, can you do Warrior without landmines? And, I mean, I could say yes, but for me it's like, okay, let's get it on video. That's exactly what's in my brain, so we're doing that now. We're gonna get it on video. But on top of that, especially in the first 50 floors, we'll play around with the bingo card. With Silver Chest Explosion, no. Because that would be a Silver Chest Explosion. Now, would I utilize that in the run? I think I still would, but I wouldn't be doing big pulls into Silver Chest stuff. Hey, Henry. Good so far, it's just, you know, good old Heaven on High. No range attack hurts fun. Maybe in the future. As a different challenge. I'm still in that mode of, like, you know, getting people into the content kind of thing. So that would be like... I don't know how you would call it. Impractical, I guess, is the word I'd be looking for. Poor Tiger. Rip Tiger. It's okay, it's a simulation, it's not a big deal. Now, you know, the respawn one's kind of like... Unless I get to 91+, you don't see the respawn right now. Because... God damn it. Who unlocked my map? Who was it? If I was to get the respawn, I would have had to have done that either at 21, but the chance of me seeing respawn now is like... Unless I wait for 10 minutes. But also, I think the thing here is to actually see it happen, that's the problem. I got to 196! I started feeling like I'm making progress and understanding. Yeah, 196, you saw everything. So, what kind of 196 are we talking about, Henry? Are we talking like, I crawled my way up there, ran out of palms and timed out? Or like, I had a lot of good palms, but I died because I made a mistake? Like, those are very two different runs, and that could be an indicator of even how good you're going. Oh look, an accursed orb. Where was that? Okay, cool, we got it. I wish the X wasn't, yellow, but whatever. It is a free thing, so. What's the general setup for Warrior landmine plays? Do you know, do you just sync your defenses? Ooh. Oh, why don't we try one right now? I hope there's a landmine here. Ah, perfect. Thanks, game. Appreciate you. So the biggest and simplest one that you can do is that you would buff up your defenses, but you would try to time your raw intuition and the hit the moment you step into it. Now, a super safe landmine is that you'd Holmgang first and like kind of remove all like thoughts about that. But if you're trying to do it without the Holmgang or your Holmgang's down, you would like run your defenses and then try to time with raw intuition. Ideally, I think the best timing is that as you're stepping into the landmine, you would trigger your AoE, and then it would cause you to to get the heal almost as you hit that as you take the damage from the landmine. That would be like the real ideal situation. Hey Caddy, how you doing? Let's do a landmine, shall we? At least this one's gonna be safe, and I have steel on. Oh, this is a bird I need to watch out for. Now, also, if you want to be extra safe, dude, you can do a witching, especially when we do like a big pull. So let's actually do the witching just because it'll be a little bit more realistic on the like you'd be doing in the higher focus way. So we'll do with the witching. Also, I'm kind of scared of the bird, not gonna lie. You do also want to survive the pull. The biggest mistake you do too here is you'd actually like burn your raw intuition too early and then you don't have it for the pull. That would be very tragic, right? So they're everything together here. I pop this one. I can do the first GCD, step into it, do the second GCD, see the heal come back right away. That would be like a really good way to do the landmine there. And then on the higher floors, you'd be doing, you know, decimation. You'd be doing your harder hitting ones because you need to do more damage. But that's generally how you do it. I had decent pawns to hit him. Oh, so it was just an execution mistake. Handmade, dude, you got this, man. I mean, hitting a luring trap can be fixed. You know, hug the walls a little bit more. Watch out for specific rooms. I mean, that's definitely fixable. Like, you may just have to play exactly the same, and you probably get even better than that. That's actually really nice. It's you know, we're trying it out today. We're like fielding ideas. I'm noting down some nice ideas, like stuff like that. So, I never really thought about witching for some reason. I was thinking for 180 plus where everything chunks you, but some man. Well, you know, 180 plus, I mean, there are some landmine plays that I will do, but usually I don't pull that much in those floors because you also have to consider logistics. If you're going to do like a massive pull in 181 plus, you need to survive it. And when you're dealing with like, you know, frost dragons, potentially worms, you're dealing with scorpions that pull you in, the logistics of that becomes a nightmare. So it really comes down to what you're capable of dragging with you. And then also think of it like this way, dude. Even if you hit a landmine for one enemy, a single enemy, you're still what do you call it? It's still a quicker kill than doing it from like 100 to 0. So that's kind of how you think of it. You're looking at it as a essential time save in one fashion or another. Now on Warrior for Palace, what I have done was like 2 enemies, is that I would step on the landmine, hit 2, and then just kill the 2 of them, which you can survive like a double pull, and that's still ways faster than doing it one at a time. Now of course, is it nicer to get like the full clear of the floor when you do it? Well, sure, but you have to come down to what you're going to be capable of pulling. Gonna go ahead. Oh, go ahead. Appreciate you passing by. Gotta mark the landmine play on Bing. Oh, I do! You're right, I do. Thank you. No, so I'm marking it off. However, we are having, like, at least how I'm envisioning it today, Caddy, is that there will be some viewer participation. Whether it be that I did something and I didn't realize that you guys are looking at the board and you're like, hey, you did the thing! Or you could even be so much to be like, hey, you're really close to this thing, why don't you, like, you know, something along those lines. I don't know precisely what I'd want to exactly do, but we'll just play it. We'll just play it without a thingy. Oh, I think I did. Oh, wait, actually, no, I don't think I did on the previous set, because I think I had steel on. I gotta tell you, I have been such a joy and inspiration to watch and discuss Deep Dungeon with. This whole community has made my time in 14 beyond anything I would have expected. Thank you, hey. No, thank you for being a part of this, you know? Thank you for passing by. Thank you for enjoying your time in it. Anyway, it's people like you that make this community. Really. I mean, you know, the community doesn't exist without its people, and you're part of its citizens. So thank you for being for just having a blast and just being a cool person. I think that's even more important, Henry, that you've just been really nice too, because it goes both ways. So. Is that the other solo war over there? Is that Wrath Games? What's up, Wrath? Using affluence on floor 8 to guarantee no items is to play. Yeah. Yo, what up, Wrath? How you doing, man? Welcome in, everybody. How y'all doing? I'm Angelus Demoness. I see Wrath is the king of soloing the entirety of 14. On my end, I just focus on one thing. Well, two things. I do like I've done like the Boja duels, which are fun, but we do focus here on Deep Dungeon solo for the most part. I'd say 90% of the time. So that's what you walked into. Today we're doing a warrior run, which is one of the popular jobs for Heaven on High solo. I do have a little bit of a thing that I want to do on the later floors, so we're just kind of vibing for now. But welcome in, everybody. How y'all doing? Wolfman, thanks for the follow. And Alexo, Slider, Ellie, hello, Mahogany, and Stark. How you guys doing? I think, Wrath, you were doing, oh, I saw your title, but I don't remember. You were trying to set up for one of the trials, right? Did you actually do the trial, or you're still trying to set up for the solo of that trial? But, welcome in. How y'all doing? Are you gonna try to solo maps like I did in... my warrior... I don't have any ambition of leveling warrior high or quickly, so I'm not sure. I had a lot of ambition of, like, seeing what warrior's capable of, and I leveled warrior pretty hardcore. Dude, I'm still trying to get through MSQ, so I don't think I can afford myself the time to. I guess if, like, no one touches it by then maybe, but... Oh, Susano! Probably gonna be a month? Content. Hey Fred. Okay, so the other thing you've walked into is our first edition of what we're calling Deep Dungeon Bingo. Now, I had, like, tossed out this idea a couple days ago of maybe looking into, like, okay, the end game of this is maybe something where we could do it like a submission in, like, a speedrun competition or a speedrun event or a charity event or something like that. Because I was watching SGDQ last week, and they had, I don't remember what game they were playing, but they did like a bingo version of it, and I'm like, wait, that's actually kind of badass if that's going to be like a speedrun event. So that's where this is going to be end game. Now, this is completely as a starter kit, so like, I just, like, I got help from one of my moderators, Willow Creed, who created a bingo board for me, and it's like, hey, give this a shot. I did like 1 or 2 tweaks to it, but we're tossing this out there, and just basically showcasing it to you guys and be like, okay, what do you guys think? Do you guys like the idea? Do you think something else should be there? You know, execution-wise, whatever it might be. Even if you want to try it yourself, you can do it like that. The things I'm interested in is just categories, is time of completion, how long it'll take you to complete a board, stuff like that. So that's what that is. And especially with so much of the knowledge that we know about this content, with like very specific details, I think it might be kind of cool, even for someone who isn't as involved with Deep Dungeon, that potentially will handle the legwork of like what to put on the board. You just go play the game and then try it out. But there's a lot of things that I would like to explore with this, and that's what today is going to be also, especially on the lower floors while we kind of discuss it. So, Final Fantasy Eve RPG. Final Fantasy. Nailed it. Thank you for the follow, and Napalmer as well. Also, Wrath, you gotta do your thing, man. Self-care, whatever it might be, I completely understand. It is an absolute pleasure to have you in here. And be sure, guys, to check out Wrath. Like, if any of you listening has an affinity to solo in 14, you gotta check Wrath out, because he has so many cool videos and journeys and projects that he does with the grander scheme of soloing that is very impressive. And he's a really cool stream too. He's super chill on his stream, so definitely check him out. No, so Fayaz, I think you're someone who was asking about this, right? That is that's actually the main goal of this run right now, is that once we get to 71+, we are going to completely avoid landmines on purpose. So we'll try to go for the clear without the landmines. Also, this will be checked without the steel, because I just did that. I'm a hungry gamer, so I shall take the chance at Raw. Hey, appreciate you, man. It's always a pleasure. Hope you have a wonderful night. I'm sure I'm gonna catch you around. Do you always not trigger a luring mine? Do you not also trigger a luring trap during a landmine play? Is the plan to reach the highest level heaven on high? Hey, Ellie. So today, let me also catch up a little bit because I fell behind a little bit on chat. Today we are planning to get to 100. I should get to 100. I have pretty good clear rate on this job, so if you want to stick around for like 5 hours, you'll hopefully see the end of this run solo. Now Stark said picked up 100 not for the damage but for the healing. Also, he can't complete the job quest for Pictomancer. It's locked behind Stormblood completion. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Alright, interesting. So in terms of a landmine, Mifua, easily put, Mifua, it all comes down to what you're capable of handling. If you can handle 10 enemies plus a luring trap and survive, then handle 10 enemies plus a luring trap and survive. You wouldn't want to hit a luring trap if you don't believe you can survive the thingy. Now, a benefit you could do is, let's say room A, like room A next to room B. Room A has a luring trap and room B has a landmine. You could trigger the luring trap, get to that landmine room, then witching, and then it'll be a little bit safer. So there's just logistics involved with it. You just need to survive the full. Does 10 plus kill glue mean you need to kill 10 plus fatigue? I don't know. Willow put this in here. I guess it's just kill 10 enemies. I guess either way it's gonna be a that thing. I don't think it necessarily indicates that it has to be a forcible 10 kill room. I think it's just kill 10. Honestly, I mean, we could be clear about its interpretation. That's actually a really good question. My initial thought was about, like, maybe you had a 10 plus kill. But maybe it is just killing 10 in a room. Hey, Say Stuff, how you doing? I've been watching your Summoner POTD runs. Oh, good luck! I hope you have good fun. I'd like to go back to Summoner at some point. It's not on my short list of things to do, Say Stuff, because there's a lot of other jobs I'd like to explore. I don't think Summoner got too many changes. I could be wrong, but I don't think it got too many changes, so that's why it's a little bit of a lower priority to return to Dawntrail, but I'd love to go back. That was a really fun run. I like Summoner. Could have one squared bingo undo an auto trap with an auto trap. Could. And you know, that's interesting because that's a little bit of RNG, but also that does take a little bit of, I don't know, planning too, right? That could be one, yeah. Otter into honor. I'm making notes on my phone for this too. Otter. Wait, how do I spell otter? Otter into otter. Oh, because it said survive your luring trap. Oh, is it on that? Oh, cool. Okay, wait. I'll adjust that too. No, actually, Mifua, I'm thinking, like, especially with this bingo card, especially when we're doing it solo, I think there needs to be some class participation. Because I'm not gonna remember all the bits right now. And you guys are constantly looking at it, presumably if you're looking at the stream, so I do actually appreciate that. I'll do it once I kill the boss. I was also sent here because of Rat. Hey, Roll. I have a friend who has a Heaven on High addiction, so I'm very interested in this. Hey, you guys are coming on a good day. I don't know if you guys will be able to survive or last, 4 hours, because we're gonna steadily climb through the floors today. But the goal, usually when I do runs, especially in Heaven on High, we do the entire thing. Either I started 21 or I started 1, but Heaven on High is in a really good spot for me time-wise, that it usually takes me about 7.5 hours, 6.5 hours to clear it, and that's perfect for like a stream time. So Heaven on High we usually do in one day. Where's that? Where's the thingy? Oh, Survivor Learn Child, there you go. Hey, no problem. By the way, I am following you, I recognize you, and I know I've been here before. I mean, if anything Deep Dungeon related, I would like to think that you were here because of that. I mean, if you were here because of my variety games, then even more so, Ely, I mean, bless if you were here for variety. Even more than likely you're here because of Deep Dungeon. Doing something right now in 140 feels like glass, but so much damage. Yeah. Well, yeah. Unless I meant 141. I like the lighting in here. Yes, I like the lighting in here too. I didn't catch this room. Yes. I do think fight a boss without steals should be a bit more difficult. Well, one thing, Caddy, that we're also taking into consideration, it's where do you start the bingo? Now, today, I'm just starting where I started the run. I just figured let's just put it out there just to have fun, just to see what it is. I do think in terms of something more serious or like maybe more competitive, you would probably start at like 61, 71. That's kind of where we're thinking, or like 81 or something like that, right? Of course, then it becomes weird, right? So then like having like 3 Magicites or something would be not an option you'd have on the bingo card because you'd either already have that or, you know, whatever. But, you know, for now, just shits and giggles. Whatever, 7. How big of a bingo thing do you want on my screen, Caddy? I mean, I had to actually make this bigger. This was smaller earlier, and like a couple of the chat were saying, like, you know, if you can make it a little bit bigger, so we made it bigger. I don't know how big you want on my screen. I'm surprised you didn't get to see a respawn already. I wasn't trying, to be fair. It could have probably happened, BiffTech, but yeah, I mean, it's possible that it did happen. We just missed it. But yeah, the only opportunity I'm going to see that is like 91 plus at this point. But and thank you for the follow, stay stuff, appreciate it. I know it's not deep, but I decided to try a bit of Palace, as my watching has kind of left the urge to try again, and I successfully, hey, little steps, man. Astro, let me tell you, you probably did more than like, I don't know, 50% of gamers in the entire subscription base of 14. You know, sometimes for people, I know a lot of people who keep saying, you know, I want to try solo, you know, but they don't end up doing it. They get, you know, distracted by something else. They go into another thing. They don't circle back in it. So honestly, stepping into it for the first time, it's huge. That's huge. I think you know what's the next couple steps, Astro? Clearing 20, because sometimes that does stop people. Clearing 30 as well, because that sometimes stops people. But once you clear 30, I think your next wall would be like maybe 90 would be the next wall, and probably 100. But yeah, I mean, you know, you gotta always start somewhere, and that's a really good start. You have some ether pull. It's touch to do this fresh with no ether pull. It's tough to do this fresh. Yeah, what JCN said also. I mean, ether pull also does help if that's the Astro. Alright, guys. I gotta hit an ad. So I like to hit ads in between the floors so you miss the least amount of action. I also like to let you know when the ads are coming out. So we're gonna do one right now. It's gonna be about 3 minutes on Twitch, a little less than that on YouTube. We will keep playing, so we're gonna be stepping into 41+. I do appreciate anyone who's been hanging around from Wrath's stream. And again, my guys, definitely check out Wrath. You know, a fellow soloer, but he does way more soloing in terms of the broader scale of the game than we just focus here on Deep Dungeon. But he's a cool dude. And I'll see you in a little bit. So thank you for watching. And our plan is to get all the way to the top. So it'll take some time, but we'll get there. Hey, Roll Robin, thank you. You got it, Darth. I'm gonna smash you in the face. All right, BRB for the ads. See you in a bit. YouTube cooperate. Thank you. Okay. What's up, Darth? But Darth's evading my ads, so it's, you know. Alright, good. I don't have any Magicites. Nice. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter with this one. All we're doing on this run outside of trying bingo is trying to clear without doing landmines. Which, if we don't get Magicites, then that will probably make it very interesting. But I'll worry about that when I get there. I started at 21, yeah. That's right. Bezos mic. Well, you know, I mean, I think I've told this before, Darth. There is an option on Twitch that I could turn ads on for subs. And I remember when I was in this webinar with the Twitch employees and stuff, where they're like, it was a webinar discussing the ad manager for the first time, because during, like, it was their first implementation of it, so they were talking to us about the ad manager and like managing the ads and blah blah blah, and they brought up the idea, the topic of turning ads on for subscribers, and they're like, well, you know, you could do it, but like 98% of partners do not do it, so that's up to you. But no one does it. But yeah, I mean, I don't do it. I mean, I think that's just kind of mean, but I could see it if you have like 1 million subs. I mean, if you have like 10,000 subs, you probably want to smash them with ads for more revenue. I mean, it is a lot of revenue. The only time that would make sense to me is I'm only sleeping or game shows, etc. Game shows? Now sponsored. Yo, Monkey Jack, thank you for the follow, welcome in. Set option. Oh my god. Do you want me to do a behemoth run and hit ads for every single person? Is that what you want me to do, BitTech? Is that what you're asking for? The moment I start the burst of behemoth, I'll do it on Pick Them Answer. I do Lust, and then I hit an ad for 3 minutes. And then when it's done, I'm done. Right at 16, yeah. On the tutorial run? Wow, did you guys miss that? Aw, shit, dude. Sorry, man. Well, you're just gonna have to catch it on YouTube. And then on YouTube, I can also, you know, I can set up ads on YouTube, so I can just put the ad right at that point too, just for funsies. We're not gonna do that. Forgot to hit record. Imagine. I'm out. So also as a note, I think some of you guys are probably out of the ad, so welcome out. Actually, let me wait the 5 seconds and then I'll say this. I'll say this in 5 seconds. Welcome back, Leaz, guys, appreciate it. So, if you're unfamiliar with Heaven on High solo, or you've seen, like, spatterings of it, or mentions of it, and you may want to hang around to see what this is about, Warrior is one of the popular, if not one of the most popular jobs to take into, for a Heaven on High clear. It isn't to say the other jobs can't do it, it's just what Warrior possesses is really, really good. So that is what you're gonna see too about why Warrior. I mean, I think a lot of people who played this game enough will probably, you know, figure out why Warrior, but we'll put it on display. It's a really, really good job. It's got like the perfect kit for Deep Dungeon, I think, at least for Heaven on High too. Good. Hello. All out, welcome back. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for that, for your patience on that one. You actually heal as Warrior and tank damage. You do. The healing from Warrior is intense. It's very, very good. It does also help with surviving. Not that, you know, tanks are good in surviving here in general, but man, does it open a lot of doors. And also inner release is really good compared to the other tanks. So it does give it a really good advantage in that department. This possesses a lot of good stuff. And I'm very used to this one. I've done Warrior a lot, for a multitude of different runs. Actually, one of the coolest runs we did, I took a free trial account on the JP server, but instead of just simply clearing Heaven on High in the free trial account, we actually did it, which I like to call the roguelike challenge, where we literally tried to clear Heaven on High like you just unlocked it. So that means no potions, you didn't start with any potions, didn't start with any Empyrean potions, started with 0 armor. You know, literally, you just unlocked it and went straight in. It took us 5 attempts, we actually cleared with a fresh file, and it was awesome. But I think only really Warrior can pull that off. I don't know if any other tank could do it. Maybe. I think Warrior is really the best one suited for that challenge. That was a hard challenge. I'd love to do it again, but logistically, it's like hard to set up because you can't actually reset your armor to just pure 0. There's no button or way of doing it easily. You have to actually go through this whole thing just to make it 0-0. But it was a fun run. I seriously considered picking up Warrior to do Deep Dungeon solo content. It's a good job. It's great in all 3 of them. But in Eureka Orthos, you can really pick a multitude of jobs and you'll be just as efficient. Honestly, like, I think a lot of people will tell you for Eureka Orthos that melee is arguably even better than tank, just because of what that Deep Dungeon demands out of you. Warrior is a very good pick for Palace of the Dead. I would say, you know, definitely on par with Machinist, which is the other popular one. But in terms of Heaven on High, you'll see a lot more mentions of tank over, say, Machinist. Although I personally feel Machinist is fantastic in here too. You'll definitely just not hear a lot of it being mentioned, but it does a really good job in here. It's just because of how hard the enemies hit in Heaven on High specifically, that's why tanks become a little bit more popular, since they can take the damage. You can survive the thing, so. For RNG-based goal ideas, pick up 3 of the same common single player. Ooh, that's tight though. Wouldn't you want like 2 of the same? Like intuition would be the best option. Oh, we're gonna put it down there. 2 of same on floor. Wait, so wait, actually. But it's just a total, right? Not like back to back, I guess. Maybe that's why 3 would make sense. Or 3 on same floor. Okay. 2 is way too common. No, you know what I was thinking? Yeah, because that's what I was thinking initially. Back to back might be hard. But like in terms of maybe the whole floor, I can see why 3 makes more sense. Okay. So I guess either one can go. You can do a back to back chest to chest, which I would say that's probably more rare than picking up 3. We had 2 conceals. I had 2 conceals on the first floor of the set. Okay. 2 different. yeah. There you go. My warrior's level 80. I might try it at one point. Palace of the Dead, Heaven High, but I want to focus story right now. Oh yeah, no, yeah. That's where I am. I want to kind of finish up the story on my end too. I'm gonna get to level 80 machinist, so I'm so happy to use the robot. That's Queen starts there, right? You get the Queen coming in. Content. How is Viper and Picto in Deep Dungeon? Alright. They are very different from each other. Now, in terms of let's go through each Deep Dungeon. How about that content? So for Palace of the Dead, Viper, in my opinion, is just very mediocre. It doesn't excel at anything more than the other melee jobs. Like, you could take almost any other melee, maybe except Monk, and just have a better time than Viper. There isn't much going at it for 60. It just basically just has, like, 3 buttons to work with. There's no survival either. You don't have any defenses. Can it clear? It clear. It can do the job. But there definitely is a lot more kind of movement execution that you need to do just to survive. Those are pretty tough run. Now, in Pictomancer, I think is still being something that I'm considering as maybe one of the best jobs that you can pick for Picto, for Palace of the Dead. I'm sorry. It has probably the strongest bursts of all 21 jobs in Palace of the Dead, but you are very squishy, and that's the kind of the balance of Pictomancer. If you find yourself with like, okay, let's say you have a high level enemy, and you did like half its HP and you have no bursts, it's troubling. Because now you have to either just do your regular GCD, which doesn't do that much damage, or you can try to force out a motif, which is where your big burst is, but do you hardcast the motif? Do you do a swift on it? And you're very vulnerable to dying that way. I felt very squishy on Picto. Now, an argument can be made that you just play Picto, where like you always just pull when you have a burst, and that could definitely be a playstyle, and you could probably have success that way. But Picto was very, very strong. Now, moving into Heaven on High, Viper is still very mediocre. They get Dreadwinder, so there's a little bit more damage to it, a little bit more pump in its GCDs. But you're still suffering from it not specializing in something compared to the other ones. I do think it did feel a little bit better in Heaven on High versus Palace of the Dead. But again, it's still in that category of like, well, you're not really getting much special out of that class. Pictomancer still is very strong, the burst is intense, but because of how hard things hit, you could still run into the squishiness issue. So I would say, like, it doesn't feel as powerful like it did in Palace, in terms of, like, what you can do with it and how you can get through. Honestly, like, at least my first time around, I thought it was, like, a little bit harder mobility and survival-wise than me playing Black Mage. I had more mobility on Black Mage than Picto. But, again, its burst can kind of make up. Now, moving into Eureka Orthos, I would say Viper definitely picks up a lot. You get a little bit more of its identity in Eureka Orthos. The entire time I was doing Eureka Orthos, I still felt like Samurai was just overall stronger. But I don't think you do wrong picking Viper for EO. Like, you won't feel like you're missing too much out of that job, even though you don't have the defenses. Pretty good pick in general. I just still think, like, some of the melee probably still stand out a little bit more, but the disparity is not as big. Pictomancer, fantastic, very strong. You're still getting very squishy, though. Even with EO being a little bit more lax on the auto attacks, I still actually felt pretty vulnerable on Picto with how hard they were kind of hitting my Pictomancer. But still very fun and very strong. But I would say that, again, it's almost like the disparity of Viper shrinks, while the one for Picto kind of becomes a little bit bigger. But EO is like you won't go wrong with any job, honestly. You know, maybe except the healer. So that's a little bit of a different deep dungeon. But there you go. That's kind of the three of them. No gold treasure room. No gold treasure room. I like that. I'm gonna note those. The all bronze chests and no gold treasure room. What's up, Ross? Do I have a thing that's gonna shoot at me? No. I have a note thing that I'm putting on my phone, so I'm kind of noting this down. No gold treasure room. Bronze only floor. Okay. Simply don't pull that burst, that is the way. That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna try that, I think, starting next week, Ross. We're going to do a no sustain Picto next week. I wanna do that. And that'll be how I do that run, is that I'm just basically gonna wait for burst the entire time. Was kiting and Viper possible, viable, and PUT have no pie? I assume not so much in EO because you don't have fun stuff to get to you. So, I don't know if it was just a little bit of a confirmation bias start. Because of the GCD timer of Viper, I actually felt stagger kiting was actually pretty cool on Viper. Not easy, but it felt pretty viable. I mean, I had that one Mimic that I played against that it basically just didn't touch me in 181 plus because I was just going back in and out the entire time. And I felt like maybe that might be a way you go with Viper, is that you stagger kite all the time. But you basically don't have anything else. I mean, you could jump from enemy to enemy with Slither, but that's all you have to work with. You don't have, like, Egress, you don't have Sakuchi, you don't even have Samurai's in and out with the gap close and the jump back, which kind of makes the thing, right? So, I don't know why, but Picto feels better than Viper right now. All the castles feel squishy, Picto feels more fluid than Viper. I think, you know, I think it's just a matter of preference. I mean, I'm more of a caster main myself. I didn't mind Viper, but I feel more comfy with Pictomancer personally. It's 8 potency weaker than Malefic's 2 for what it's worth in Palace, assuming no buffs. Okay. No bomb, cunted. Where's Dodo in the bingo squad? I'm fielding ideas. This is the one that Willow gave me, Shirling. You know, actually, I did think about the idea of putting in a Dodo, but of course that only becomes like one instance, so it's like super random that it even shows up, and you can't. Well, I mean, you could force it, but very random that you even get to show up. So, but no, it's ones we can add in eventually. Could put these guys on here for Heaven on Eye only, and special monsters for. Yeah, you could too. Yeah, seeing them. I would say like the special enemies are probably more rare than the Well, no, I would say the auspices are more rare. It's like you actually fight enemies, you should play Viper. It's like if you like to actually fight enemies, you should play Viper and Palace. I'm sure there's a long list of people who want to do that, Ross. What are my Magicites? Is this going to be a no Magicite run as well? I mean, I'm in for it. It's just a few challenges all at once is going to be interesting. I can make it work. Evix, by the way, earlier, thank you for that follow as well. I appreciate it. I'm gonna try to pull the Biptech special with the Affluence no item floor coming in. See if we can get it on floor 9. What floor am I right now? We are on floor 48 right now. About to be on floor 49. Still no matches. I'm really kind of like, okay, I probably should start going for Magicites because I've been like skipping a lot of rooms. But it's fine. Alright, you got it, dude. I'm gonna use a rage right away. Okay. Maybe we should do like a a redemption of like, you know, check the bingo board, something like that. Well, it needs to be something that's more specific, maybe. I'm not sure. Billy? The 5 patrols I have to pay attention to. I have to like do like a head count. Oh, I didn't get the no item route. Conceal? Sure. That's okay, we have more opportunities for that to happen. We did get more chests though, which is nice. Steal into the boss? Yeah, sure. You haven't played Heaven on High. Same content, different flavors. Sometimes for people, if they start getting burnt out in one deep dungeon, they hop into the others, and they still get the enjoyment of doing a deep dungeon. Just feels fresh again, you know? Kind of cool. Time for 10 plus kills. How many did I get already? 1, 2. I mean, I could just do that. Let's do it right on. I survived the landmine. That's 3. That's 4. Was that 4 worms? Okay, noted. 6. 7. And that's where I think this could also have some benefit. Exactly what this is. Right there with Elvis and Bivtech, that you get the class participation. And I think that's where it could be a little bit fun too, you know? It almost becomes more of a chat game than anything. Wait, that's... Oh, do I even have enough for 10? This is like 8, isn't it? I don't even know if there's 10 enemies here. Oh, there will be now. Oh, that's actually one of the markers, because we popped the Mimic Post. That's 9. Anyone plus recover? I think we didn't get it, because you said 10 plus, so this is 10. I think that was 10. We got the Mimic on the, where is it? So blind. This one, there you go. Oh yeah, no, the 5 patrols. Yeah, I couldn't even get the 10 plus kills either. Because I think we just got 10 kills here. We didn't do 10 plus. Let's go. Actually, which would have been perfect because it would have actually locked it down. I could wait for respawn, you're right. You guys want to grab a snack for 8 minutes? Yeah, also I have to see the respawn. Yeah, that would be the other part of it. I like that my fail cleave is gonna do more damage. Although, does it do more damage now, or does it do more damage later? Pretty sure it does more damage now. Well, I'd have to see it though. I mean, we'll definitely get a respawn 91 plus, just I have to see it. That's part of the thing. I mean, it could be adjusted in the future, but... Lots of parts to see, lots of parts to see the room, yeah. I mean, Palace would actually be the best one for the respawns, to be fair. Heaven on High makes it a little more difficult. Class participation. I didn't prepare. I'm not wearing pants as Gavindale. Alright. I mean, as long as you don't, you know, show me, then we're good. mean, see the actual moment of the respawn? That's what it is. I think that was maybe the interpretation of what Willow had there. You know, it actually makes it interesting with these discussions because there are some ambiguity with the thingy. And so if we put down these challenges, there probably should be more of a solidified thing. That's also, like, initially when I was looking at it, I had this interpretation of it, but then you guys are having your own interpretation of it, which makes complete sense. So there should be a little bit, I think, a little bit less ambiguity with the ones you pick. They seem to be like spawned right on top of you in Palace. Yeah, and I think that's what Willow was thinking about BivTech, or not even just Palace. I mean in general, that you do have the situation that it just spawns on top of you, which is a meme, really. I mean it's probably a thing, but it is a meme. So I think that's what he was thinking about on that one. Immortus says, "I'm a B-tier, but I'm always naked." Fair point. I mean, I'm not a VTuber, so I mean, I don't know, so I'll just take your word for it. I saw something called spinning. Can this be used in all mods of Palace of the Dead? The one boss is particularly impressive. In Palace of the Dead and Heaven on High, yes, it can work. EO, it cannot work. But you could do it if you wanted to, you could do it. I need the proper enemy to do this. Which I guess is the Kamakari. The Kamakari. Okay, so this is spinning. Wait, pull you. Come here. My cat isn't wearing... How do you know? Okay, so this is spinning. Wait, let me see if I can do it right. Okay, here we go. So this would be spinning. So see how that's not hitting me? If you do this in the right velocity and the right amount of speed, you can lock it down. And that's what that is. Now, this works in Palace and Heaven on High. It does not work in EO. Because they literally just prevented it from EO. Used to be a bit of a hot topic with Deep Dungeon and soloing, but all I'll tell you about that is I don't think anyone really cares. Also, no one's ever gotten in trouble for it. You'll see some videos on YouTube where people are just literally doing it for like 4 hours straight. So, like, all I'd care about it is if people got in trouble for it. If there's any legitimate reason that people got in trouble for it, but I've never seen anyone get in trouble for it to Deep Dungeon solo. So, there you go. But no crits in EO, so it evens out. I guess that's one way to look at it, sure. I never actually thought of it in that fashion, that it evens out in that way. I mean, I know, like, the no spinning thing was definitely implemented in, what, like, Shadowbringers? That you really, really couldn't do it on, like, anything in the game. But... Need another Gloomful and Treasure Room exit, we got Bingo. I could force it out, that's right. I could do, like, a, you know, a big pull, something like that. I'm kind of concerned about the no Magicites, but... I didn't sign up for the no Magicite part, but, yeah, guess we'll play what the game gives me. Usually how it goes anyway. Serenity? Sure. I love floor 1. You know, that actually should be on the board. Floor 1 Serenity, that would be a high probability. Did I not fail him? Guess not. That's not exactly true. Your flesh tuber, yes, but you do have your PNG. That's true. No, this is the PNG. The cat is the real one. 3 or 4 overcap tests, though. In a row. That's like heavy. That'll be a tough one, right? Maybe like even 2? Well, I guess if you're sitting 3 of everything, and then you just check everything, then boom, you're good, but... I guess they'd have to be different palms, too. Well, that's where I think... Okay, so this is why I'm thinking about that, though, Elvis. And this is where like mixing RNG and skill comes involved. So think of it this way: like, what if you implement a bingo card where it will favor speed? Like, okay, we have clear the run on the center, but if that means that you're going to be aggressive with your Pomanders and sit 2 of everything because you want to go faster, or do you then play it where you actually go for an overcap, reducing your essential speed, but you're going for that other block to get it to board, right? And if we all have different random boards, that could be an interesting take on like the strategy. It's like something that isn't necessarily too hard, but it could still affect. Sorry, I smacked my microphone. It could still affect the run in a different way if you decide to go down one path or the other. I could have won this card by now. I could have. But I'm also like, part of me is doing it more like organically in a way. I mean, some of them are like I have to put the effort into it, right? But I'm also trying to see like how it ends up in a little bit of an organic situation, and how much do we have to divert the run to get to it. You know, I mean, I could take like the next time we go in and like literally focus in on each thing. Also, to be fair though, Ross, like, I think part of this, which is making it a little bit challenging, at least the first time around, it's that I don't remember what's on the list all the time. That's also not helping. Because I think if in my brain I knew like what I'm aiming for, that would help, but I'm not constantly looking over. Oh, there's the man, the hour, there's Willow. What's up, Willow? How you doing, man? Good morning? Question mark? How do you farm sustaining potions? So ideally, I actually recommend people going in minimum 1 person. You could go in with 2 to actually get yourself to 101 plus. You'll be surprised that when you get to 101 plus, you get a lot of potshots that way, because the drop rate is a lot higher in 101 plus. I woke up in the middle of the night, thought I'd check in really quick. I don't think we said Sage. Does anyone say Sage? That usually is what that signals Willow in here. Is that 3? I think that's 3. Oh, Willow. When you said 10 plus Gloom kills, were you thinking like literally like go into a Gloom floor and kill 10 enemies, 11 enemies? Or were you thinking like a high level floor that requires you to get 10 kills minimum? What were you thinking? 4. Wait, is that was 4 or this is 4? Oh yeah, this would be 5, right. I think we're on the same. I was thinking high level max, so basically, okay. I think like, and that's what I was thinking too. And then when we were discussing it, someone's like, oh, what if we just go on this floor and kill 10? I'm like, I guess we can just do that. And so I guess like, I think one thing that we'd have to check for is a little bit of the ambiguity of the challenges, right? And there's nothing wrong with it now. I mean, it's part of the process of like figuring this out, but I didn't think about like ambiguity. Like I think the way you were describing it was pretty much on the same page as how I was thinking about it, not thinking of its like other meaning that it could give. So, well, this will be 7. Sniper Joe, thanks for follow, welcome in. This will be 8. I don't mind it being open to interpretation, but I tried to keep them short enough to meaning precisely. But yeah, and I did have to make the thing bigger because I had it a little bit smaller. I think this is 8. I had to make it a little bit bigger because it was a little too small on my screen. I mean, I think it's taking a decent amount of real estate, not too much on the thingy. But yeah, there's also that like logistics part of like making it not so wordy and stuff, you know. This will be 9. I need like, after this I need 2 more, which I can't, okay, I still can't get 10. Okay, so even going for the 10 kill here, it's not easy. Like I'd have to go for like either a higher floor or something. This would be like exactly 10 but not 11. So this is actually an interesting challenge. in how it is. So I did not think this would be like this, but I could find a luring training. I could. Let's see if we do that. You know what? Let's go through it, because if I can't find the luring trap, that means also that makes it a little more complicated, right? It would end up making me use the site to make this happen. But that's a fair point. I mean, this was actually the second time, Willow, that I was trying to intentionally go for the gloom floor to get enough kills, and I landed at 10, not 11. I could leave the room with an auto, though. I could do that, too. Yeah. Since I'd sighted anyway. 2 landmines, 3 landmines. I got the luring. Yeah, that would mark it down. I have to put some effort into that. There you go. Yeah, that was interesting. So, unintentionally, that became a thing. I can do the auto out of here too. If you start this run early, it's too easy to manipulate. Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking that too, that it is easy to manipulate. I think this definitely would be a better way to do it on, like, say, the higher floors, especially because you're reducing the time in terms of, like, when you get to finish these off. But then, of course, it still becomes like, what do you put on there? Like, having all Magicite is weird. Having 3 palms is weird if you start at the higher floors. So, where is it? Exit the floors and honor. There you go. Hey, Disneyman, how you doing? Yeah. But hey, this is a good start so far. I mean, not doing a bad thing. I think what I would like to do, at least today too, is even if we get a line, I'm still going to try to see if we can fill off some of these and see just how much we can fill up on. Oh, there's a treasure room. That's not on an exit, though. In the current state, it works good for competition bingo when you try to finish before your other. Yes, and that's where I'm thinking about too, like where we would implement something like this, that it would be like a competitive thing. But of course, I think the current question is, what's an appropriate board for such a competition? And of course, also running through the motions of like the criteria can also help too, right? Ooh. Okay, I almost went a little over there. Well, the thing that I wanted to go for is that I think it has to be finished in under like 2 hours. I think you don't want to go over 2 hours with this to fill it up. So like, not only is it just completing the run, but it's also filling a line within 2 hours, or a blackout like Elvis is saying, or something to that effect. But it has to be done with like a maximum 2 hours. So we've been live for like 2 hours, and I almost got a line, which then would actually be in the running of that sweet spot of time. Yeah. Give it 2 hours, so then need to pull it in. Yes. Yeah. I think that would have to go. Well, I mean, it does become a speed run, so you could get the clear to run as one of the blocks for your goal to get it, right? Could that not be a case? The spinning technique is badass. Yeah, you know, if you want to do it, you can do it. I mean, you know, it's to each your own. I don't do it for a myriad of reasons, but I have no problem showcasing it. I know what it is. But it is to each their own for that one. I think if you do it on the lower floors, you go for the full clear, but reduce the number of pure RNG things. Full card clear, so like a complete clear. Reduce the number of pure. It's not exciting on the lower floors though, to me anyway. Could make a card tailor for 1 to 30. Oh, that didn't. I was about to conceal. Next time you could probably try getting to 61 first and then starting bingo. I think I will. I think when I do Heaven on High on Saturday... Oh, that's great. I think when I do Heaven on High on Saturday, that's might be what I try next, yeah. I mean, I definitely wanted to see how it started now. You know, just to see, just in general. Also to see what you guys think, too. Not to mention, I could give this a lot more attention when I'm on the lower floors as opposed to the higher floors. Well, I do think on like a 71 run, I'd probably let it become more organic than trying to force out certain things. I mean, I could force out certain things for sure. Mimic breaks conceal. Is that one? Oh, you mean as an option, a mimic breaks the conceal. Oh yeah, I like that one. Mimic breaking conceal. Yeah, and that's kind of a common one, I would say. Is melee hard to do full neck or wrist? I mean, it's not easy. I mean, would it? I guess the better question is, how does it compare to the other roles, right? I would argue that melee is probably one of the harder ones compared to the other roles. It definitely asks you quite a bit compared to, like, let's say a machinist or even a tank. But yeah, I mean, it has its difficulties. It might also come down to, like, you know, which melee you decide to pick. I mean, some melees will have an easier time than other melees for sure. Ninja? Oh, Ninja is cool. Ninja has a lot of kiting, a lot of mobility with its damage because of Mudras. Really good job. I like that a lot. I would say your survivability in Ninja is pretty good as well. Compared to like Viper, Monk, arguably even Dragoon. Exploding chest breaks conceal. That could be one too, yeah. I have a bit of an already if it's okay to ask. Okay, I got you then. Yeah, no problem, Midnight Rose. I like the Ninja run. I like Ninja and Deep Dungeon in general. I have a lot of fun with it. Good job. Overcap concealed during conceal. I mean, that would lead into just the general overcapping, but that could be very simple. Do I need steel for 150 on caster? Depends on the caster. And Chad also got you. I would kind of agree with Ross. Black Mage would need steel. Summoner, you definitely don't need steel. Red Mage, you could certainly get through, I mean, without steel and without standing potions. That's a whole thing. Yeah, Black Mage, it's been a while since I've been a Black Mage, to be fair. I'm pretty sure I think I probably would have gotten away without the steel and Black Mage, but I can't, I have to look at my log for that. Can a bingo be encounter and kill a rare mob and the ones that had dialogue suddenly die? Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, the auspices or the special enemies, we could totally do that. I think that would be harder into like the RNG though. So like if you do one that's a little bit more RNG based, that would be perfect. As opposed to like skill based, because you can't control that. Like you can't do anything to manipulate that happening. I'm hearing a lot of emphasis on conceals at the moment. I rarely ever use those. Conceals is really, really good. It can get you out of treasure rooms, it can get you straight into the exit, you know, it's also very good on big rooms because it can actually make you avoid the fake exits on the big room. Definitely has a lot of nice usage for the conceal. And in my opinion, it's one of the best palms in all of Deep Dungeon. Even like when you look at like the palms that exist for Palace and the palms that exist for UV Orthos, I think it's one of the best utility palms out there. Yeah, so okay, in a big room, Midnight Rose. Generally in a big room, it has fake exits, right? So a lot of times you'll see me open with a safety, because the safety will delete the fake exit, so you only have to deal with the one true exit. However, if you decide not to safety, even if you sight, you still see the fake exits, but you don't know which one's which. A conceal will actually tell you. So if you walk into a fake exit with a conceal, the exit will not pulse. It won't do the thing that you're supposed to leave the floor. And that tells you it's a fake exit. So it's like your backup strat of getting off of the big room. Really, really good thing. Especially if for some reason you've been like, you all of a sudden have been losing your safeties. Maybe you got too many big rooms, so on and so forth. That's a good way to get out of that situation. Just throwing it out there, but I steal 150 anyway just because I'm lazy. On DPS. It's too spicy when the ad is out. I just use Steel and Black Mage because otherwise I feel like I'm going to die casting Fire for them, so I keep this down. I think I handle the ads very quickly, and that's why I feel like I didn't have to worry too much about it, but again, I could be misremembering my Black Mage run. It's been a while since I did Black Mage. Hey, no problem, Midnight. That's what I'm here for. I was going to have no safety concealed big room on there originally. I mean, well, I think that's definitely, like, heavy on the RNG, because that would also mean you'd get a big room to begin with. But, well, also, like, if you start earlier, you could manipulate that on 15, unless you don't do 15, right? But man, I mean, if you try to do that on like 91 plus, that's going to be a trip and a half. Sure. I've been trying to skirt the edge of the exits and to see if they pulse immediately or not. Works sometimes in big rooms. I've been trying to skirt the edge of the exits to see if they pulse immediately or not. Interesting. So like you actually like go like right here and see if they go in, and then you can actually figure out if it triggers or not. I would almost think that shouldn't work, but that's interesting. Okay. In Palace of the Dead, activating the palm that rests you in a boss fight, will it revive you? Yep. In a boss fight, it revives you in your spot. If you die though, the boss will respawn where it started. So like if it's like if it's at the gate, right? If there's like a gate that goes to the exit. So, like, if you die by that gate, you'll get re-aggro immediately. If you die away from it respawning, it'll respawn there, and it won't aggro, and it just resets the fight. Now, interesting here is if, oh, I got the resync ball. Interesting here is if you've done the Boja duels, you will know that that is actually different, because you do have a re-raise in Boja duels. And what happens in Boja duels, if you re-raise, you actually just continue the fight where you left off. Like I think the fight just like pauses and then it just resumes. But in Deep Dungeon it resets to the beginning. So HP resets and all that stuff. Yeah. Are there 5 Hongrows here to go? Is it 5 of the same enemy? Hold on, let me check. Oh no, it's 5 patrols though. So these... Oh no, kill 5 of the same enemy. Oh yeah, okay. Let me see, let's so. We got 3 in 1 room, so maybe we can find it. Giant. I feel like exploration zone buffs are essentially enhanced deep dungeon buffs. Like they took what's good in deep dungeon, adapted it to the open world. Yeah, to some extent, yeah. Hey Lilia, how you doing? Some of them are a little bit too strong, right? I mean, Flare Star is the one that always comes to mind for, like, Boja. That is a very, very, very powerful ability. Living in crafting hell? Man, every time I hear that, it's like I feel free because I mean I used to really do crafting a lot. Not that I crafted for like raiding and stuff, but I definitely felt some pressure about crafting, being there first, you know, being able to get the harder things, crafting some maps and stuff. And man, I don't care about crafting this expansion right now, and it's been kind of fun. I have been, although I am very curious about some of the glamour though that exists. Which you don't have to let me know about anything. I do want to, you know, discover it myself, but that's actually one little attribute that might convince me to at least level crafting, but right now I don't care about crafting. I thought you were doing this on Dragoon. No, today's Warrior, on Saturday it's gonna be on Dragoon. Did I say that in the announcements? I know I said something about landmines in announcements. I need to find one more. I'm probably gonna craft to get myself to 100 self-craft and whatnot, but I'm not gonna do experts like I was expansion. Gotcha. We have 5! Okay, I can do that, but I have to kill it. I want to just meld my gear back, but I'm too lazy to do much more than GC turn-in sometimes. You know, you stay consistent, it's a lot of XP, right? That's all you gotta do. Crafting has never been easier! Says Immortal, yelling at YouTube. Crafting has never been easier? Well, that doesn't help me wanting to craft because I want it to be harder. I don't want it to be easier. I've been whining and complaining that crafting was too easy. So if you're telling me it's easier, then I care less. Where's my expert raiding gear? Well, I need to do expert crafting to do raiding gear. I need that one. Hey Joni, crafting market imploded almost instantly. It's been 2 weeks and prices are already down 80%. People caught up. That's just how it goes, man. That's one reason I hated crafting. I mean, even if you're first up in crafting in any server, you have hours to enjoy it before people start flooding the market because it's easy. That's why I just dislike. I stopped making money after, like, I think Stormblood for crafting. I made a lot of money at Heavensward. Once I got the Stormblood, I just stopped caring about making money. It's like, you know. Bingo today. Yeah, Joni. And you know, we're trying it out today as a preliminary thingy. Honestly, if you have ideas and everything, you may want to try it yourself. I mean, blessed too. Like, we want to try to see about how long it takes to maybe get a line. How the challenges are, if there's any like neat ideas to do for a challenge. The end game goal I want to have, Joni, is to make this into something that can be a competitive thing. It can be a speedrun event thing. So this is where it starts today, you know, and to see what we can do with it, and kind of also put it out there that this thing exists. Wow, I just have to clear the run now. Easy. I can get bingo, just clear forehead. I like how 14 crafting is actually relevant unlike other MMOs. Okay, fair. I'm still driving the prices down purposely. Also fair. Crafting is the same as last expansion. Fun. I got all my DOH and DOL to 100 after next reset, just never gonna touch them the next attack. Sure. It would be fun if they made a nearly impossible craft of 5-slotted raid gear. You know, back in ARR, crafting to get to the higher tier and to get to the books were very, very hard. I still remember back in the day, in Cactor, that we had 8 crafters, myself included, that we had control of the market for like a month and a half because no one else was able to get their crafting that high. And it got to the point where like we were actually like leveling our prices, you know, having it in different cities and like taking turns getting sold, like that was the control we had in the market. Like it was reasonable prices, but it wasn't against like a competition. So like the idea was that you wouldn't undercut anyone and you wouldn't like destroy the pricing. And that only worked because you only had like 8 people in the market. And that was when it was a lot of fun. Like it felt like it was worth actually leveling, crafting, being one of the few people who actually could make gear for the entire server. Yeah, those days are long gone, that's for sure. Are you going to do a no Magicite challenge or what's going on? Not intentionally, Caddy. not by what I wanted to do today. ARR was hard. Just getting the massive burst was tough. Yeah, and I loved it, JMO. I loved it. It was one of my most favorite things to do. But, alas, people complained. I think, you know what was the tipping point? If anyone remembers, if anyone played the game long enough, the tipping point was in Heaven's Ward when they opened the expansion. Where you had to do, what is it called again? It was called, favors. That you had these items, okay? They were like these pamphlets that you spent your scripts to get. You would use the pamphlet, go to a specific area, you get a 15-minute buff. And within this 15-minute, you had this small window to get a very specific item, which would be used to get one of your class-related gears. And every crafting class had a specific gear. There was no Omni set, it was just like a Weaver set and a Blacksmith set. And it took so long to even get these favors. So the grind was intense. And then people complained that it was too hard, which, okay, to be fair, it was pretty ridiculous. And then that was the downhill from the difficulty. That's when they started bringing up the, you know, making it a lot easier, and Omni gears came out and all that stuff. That was definitely the tipping point for crafting. A good bingo category would have been no Magicite. Well, you could manipulate that with not picking up the silver chest, right? But that could be fair, you could do a no Magicite, but then that would be like, I don't know, like that would probably be a centerpiece, you know, like a center thingy, because you'd have full control over that if you never touched the silver. Weekly cap currency? Yeah, oh man, those are the days, Shamo. I love that. That was actually thrilling, you know? It's almost like you had to speedrun gathering, but... And it felt worse when, like, I think I had enough materials to make one full set after, like, a week, and then they changed it. Like, oh man, come on, man. Oh, the prices are asinine this expansion pack. 300k for one raw leather? Interesting. I don't know what that necessarily means. That does sound a little expensive. Yoshi P, we put a cap on currency so players don't no life or game because they enjoy other games as well. You have to grind 7,000 hours. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Mrs. Velvet? How you doing? I will. I appreciate you. In 1.0, to gather from a tree, you had to play a hot and cold minigame. I never played 1.0, but interesting. Like, you had to, like, find the right spot or something, or, like, find the right tree. I gotta go to work soon. I'm gonna allow that one to go. Okay. I am almost ready to ask you to send in your essay, but I'm not quite there yet. Maybe I'm hoping maybe by Saturday or Sunday. Maybe Sunday. Out of this floor yet. Out on a limb, that's how gathering worked. Died to Rapture again on Paladin 412. No, yeah, it's gonna one-shot you. You just have to drop the slime before it does its thing. So anytime you pull a slime tanky, even in the higher floors, just focus it down. Make sure it dies and then you're good. Full respect, full respect. It's effectively the same game as they want to Golden Saucer. Interesting. Wait, wouldn't I have had 5 patrols on that floor? Did anyone see 5 patrols? Or just play 7 years for leave quests? Yes. I am enjoying it so far. Is that a Petri overcap? Boom. I kind of blew my... my sprint already. Climb is stronger than the... Yeah. It does a lot of damage. The first slider is basically choosing what item you wanted, and the minigame was a way to gather it. To be honest, the few people that did it seriously used third-party tools for it. That doesn't surprise me. Wow, someone wanna grace me with a Magicite? That'd be great. Now, interesting. Okay, so I'm looking now at the fortune drops no chests, but I imagine you'd want the criteria of, like, would you, okay, I don't know if Willow's still here. What do you guys think? If you do a fortune no, if you do a category like we have, fortune drops no chests, do you think that should be strictly under a Magicite? I mean, what if I only kill one thing? Well, I guess you wouldn't, what? Yeah, like, what if you use the fortune late and then kill one thing, it doesn't drop a chest, and like, boom, got him. You know what I mean? Like, I think that would be a way to manipulate. So you'd have to have something more precise on that. Because technically that counts. In this case, it would count, but I would probably get a little bit more precise. It's more like I just haven't seen Magicites. I've been kind of trying to check chests, and I haven't seen them. Oh, is this the bingo card? Yes! So, Pauline, I was talking about the idea of it, and then Willow Greed sends me a rough draft of one, and I'm basically running with more or less what he sent me with a couple adjustments. And we're just trying it out. We're exposing it to you guys. I'm fielding feedback. I'm fielding, you know, if you want to try it yourself, you can do !DD bingo, see what you feel about it, and yeah, we're just gonna play around with it for the first day, and I might have it up a couple times to see, but just see how it goes. Could make it full kill. Something has to be able that I mean, yeah, it's like you don't want to manipulate it too much, right? Like, you don't want to have, like, this door of, like, being able to cheese it, especially if you think about, like, a competitive situation. Because doesn't that just happen on most Night Forces set? I haven't seen one yet, unless I missed it. Actually, we had a big room earlier, and I'm not sure if I would have seen one, but... I love missing, it's my favorite pastime. Well, I think a Dodo's too rare, you know? Like, I think we did want to maybe balance the idea of both RNG and skill. And you could put Odin on there too, right? Someone said about the Dodo. I think, like, if you have a board that is it's like strictly like an RNG board, which I think there's going to be definitely a value to like a pure RNG board. And that might be good. Like, maybe I can see, like, a charity run maybe being, like, a good place for, like, a pure RNG board. Where, like, maybe if I start clearing lines, you know, it could make me, like I could do, like, a donation if we got lines or something. Or maybe we can entice, like, hey, if we get a line, let's have, like, you know, like a $5 donation train kind of thing, you know? Maybe that could also be a nice idea. Whereas if you do it in a competitive like a competitive speedrun type of thing, then you'd want something maybe harder on the skill level. Yeah, it may depend on the event that you're utilizing it for. Because I think there would be value in, like, having one that's like an Odin or a Dodo, and you play the run normally. You don't really manipulate the run, you just play it like, you know, how you would typically play it and just see where the cards fall kind of thing. You know, Max, how you doing? It doesn't technically have to be Odin, but you gotta do it a certain way if it is Odin. You could put a kill a boss with a Magicite pile. Yeah, true, and that would be tough though, because especially if you're like on Honora, you'd have to make sure that you get it low enough. I mean, it could be like a kill shot thing, right? That would actually be that would actually be an interesting part of, like, maybe on the skill board, because you would have control of that. It's just, do you want to do it at that point? You can get the guaranteed square that way. Just do it at 1%, right? Why am I missing so much? What the hell? I like that one, actually. I'm gonna add that to the list. Let me get to the exit first, because there's a lot of BS here. Floating around. Just reached Post and Walker. Nice. Good. So, well, outside of the Magicite, which is getting weird, but, you know, it's been going pretty normal so far. If we're gonna mimic, that one's easy. That's basically guaranteed all your runs. You know, Pauline, we had someone on my YouTube chat that said, you know, bingo would work if like, okay, they're like, my luck is always bad. And I'm like, well, you can cater a bingo card to bad luck. I mean, that's, you know, there's nothing wrong with doing that, you know? So, maybe you do have someone who doesn't get that, and then you run it, and you're like, well, I get it all the time, so it's gonna favor me. Yeah. It's kind of funny. Well, you know, I would say it's probably the easiest one, maybe, arguably. Well, in this shop, at least it should be. So far, the run's being weird, though, like I said. Okay, that's the ace. Bitching. I'll use the bitching later. Did he just call you out? That's all good. I don't think it's a bad thing, though. If they want to see, they should just hop over to the YouTube and see and check it out. We do have Twitch drops here. What are you doing? Oh, I have auto heal disabled. That's why we're kind of having low HP here. Strength again. Today I learned there is a room 150 that has wall traps. Oh, was it Stonehenge? Was it the boom boxes? I'll just try. Stonehenge? On the right side, it could be there. High chance it could be there. So what did we say, Biftech? Killing a boss with a Magicite. Okay, let me note that down. There's no shooting me today. Death into tilt. There should be one on your card, Velvet, where it says, wait, hold on. Kill boss with Magicite. There should be one on your card that says make owls extinct. That would be the one that you have. Yeah, kill 7 Skatines. Difficult in Heaven on High. I'm pretty sure you'll make it work. I'm pretty sure you'll figure. Well, that's also the thing that, you know, we're starting this off in Heaven on High, but I do want to have this extend into EO and Palace of the Dead. Just have to find the appropriate one, but I think it's a bit of a daunting task to like think of all three all at once. So we gotta do one at a time. But big raid hype, yeah, hell yeah. I'm also curious about that. I gotta talk to some of my fellow Twitch creators if they've been doing simulcasts, if anyone has received a raid on YouTube, because you can actually raid on YouTube. It's a thing. It's just it's a little bit trickier because I think you have to subscribe to the other channel for that to work. But I just wonder if anyone actually uses that feature. Yeah, I haven't heard of it either. I mean, no one's come in here, but I don't really follow a lot of people, so, you know, I think the opportunity for that to happen is extremely low. For EO Bingo, would an Une kills a boss be a viable... I would maybe say... I was about to say if you do like a demi-clone kills the boss, but a lot of our strategies make it such that you usually have a demi-clone anyway, so that would be... I would actually put that as like the center square, you know? But specifically Une, Now that makes it interesting because then that does force you to use Une, which means you have to play around getting enough time to get to Une unless you do it on the earlier floors. But if you do it on like, let's say you do the EO run 81 to 100, which is the popular speedrun category, Crimson, and then you make that a thing, that could be an interesting pick. Because usually, at least for my runs, I usually get low on time to the 90 boss, so I'm always ending up with an onion. And then for 99, it's very popular to use an onion because of how long that boss is. So now, if you force out Une to kill the boss, that does lead into interesting decisions. At least that's how I'm thinking. I don't know if that was how you were thinking about it, but that's how I was thinking about it. That could be interesting. Ain't you high? Yeah. And funny enough, like, we haven't actually hit Bingo yet. Kill without Magicite, because, well, a warrior's not... Well, see, therein lies Nyx. That's interesting, right? Because we had a little bit of a discussion on Discord concerning what if we do it based on roles? Like a job role or actual job. And the one that you mentioned right now, like if you're on a tank, that's not too big of a deal. If you're on a biz range, okay, now we're talking, right? Now that's going to be an interesting decision. If you're on a melee trying to fight a warrior, now that becomes something rather tough. So it may come down to like, that could be something more specific to a class that you're taking in if we like standardize classes or something. I do like the idea of a charity bingo where you have tons of people playing their own cards, do a charity with their own card, keep playing your game while you play, we have participation, but then, yeah, I mean, you want to incentivize it so that you want people to donate, right? So I don't know how you would implement it like that. Outside of getting the participation and like having people just be a part of it, I'm not sure, but you know, I'm sure there's a way to implement it that can make sense. Yep. I wish you took so much time on this floor. Kind of funny. I took so much time that I have the ads coming in soon. Wait, hold on. Should be okay. I'm gonna snooze the next set of ads after this. Oh, there we go. Okay. I thought behind it was the lock that Mikon used today. Yeah, that's interesting. That's a good one. After this boss, I'm gonna note it down for when we get to like the EO version. Because there are definitely bits in EO and Palace that you have like certain instances happening. EO would be interesting because I feel like EO would benefit harder into like a more skill-based type of bingo card because of how that run goes. Like, there's not too much in terms of like the RNG department that I could really think of that maybe you could put into, at least not notable. Heaven on High is the one that's radical when it comes to the RNG. Whereas I haven't picked one up yet. And look at my affluences too. I only use one affluence. I still haven't seen it yet. But I think it'll make it a lot more interesting for you guys. Now, the purpose of this run, it wasn't to play bingo. Bingo was just an additional thing that we just started doing now. But the actual purpose of this run was to do no landmines on Warrior and to try to clear with no landmines. So if we're also doing it without a Magicite, that's gonna make it fascinating. Who dat? Thunder Squid Thursday. Why, hello there, and it is actually Thursday as well. Did I say Tuesday at the beginning of the stream? Anyway, thank you for the raid. Welcome in. I hope you had a wonderful stream. I will try to get you the shout out once I have one of my mods around. But I appreciate you. And how is your? And let me know what you're up to. And welcome in, everybody. I'm Angelus Demonus. I do a lot of Deep Dungeon solo in this stream. We do some variety as well, but I'm probably not going to do variety until maybe August. I'm going to stick with 14 for the month. But we do focus our content on Deep Dungeon solo. We are also MSQ free, so you don't have to worry about any MSQ spoilers over here. And we are trying to do it on Warrior, which is one of the popular jobs in Heaven on High. But we got a couple challenges set in motion. we're also trying out a brand new thing that I am calling Deep Dungeon Bingo. And it's the first time I'm doing it, and we are just kind of playing around with the idea, fielding some thoughts on it, seeing if anyone also has some interest in trying it themselves. And that's what you're seeing on the right side of my screen right now. Welcome in. I had not looked at chat after that monologue, so give me a moment here. Thank you, Miss Velvet. I appreciate you. I'm tired. The bed jet awaits you, Velvet. No problem. I was on Project Zomboid. Okay. That game looked pretty interesting. That's is that the kind of isometric kind of survival zombie game? Where like you're going into buildings, looting buildings, trying to like keep away from zombies or something. Is that one, or am I thinking of something? My husband is a big, sweaty raider. I'm getting through Shadowbringers. Hey! Yeah, we are completely no spoilers. I'm actually still working on MSQ myself, but I'm definitely keeping a tight ship in here because I don't want to hear anything. I'm very sensitive to it, so I don't want to spoil anyone else as well. Yeah, you are very safe here. And I'm actually thinking about extending our non-spoiler vibe until Savage comes out, because I've definitely noticed and seen that a lot of viewers actually appreciate the fact that people aren't talking about or doing MSQ. I kind of would have thought that maybe by now, we're getting close to next week, it would be a little bit less, but even as of like my last stream on Tuesday, people kind of appreciate it, and I'm like, okay, we'll just keep going. I mean, it's nothing off my back. I can easily not talk about MSQ. It's not that hard, so but yeah. It's like RuneScape with zombies, very grindy. AC max. And the end game is what you make of it. Okay, fair. Interesting. Okay. I wasn't sure if I've seen something on it. I feel like it would have been something I wishlisted but never got to it, but okay, nice. I feel bad for Modern Zombies. The dev community. Oh really? Oh, that kinda sucks. Okay. Holiday was weird for this time, I bet. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, true. The 4th of July, maybe. Okay, well, I appreciate the raid. Thunder, if you gotta do, like, things, you know, self-care post-stream, be my guest. If you want to keep talking, I'm gonna be here for at least another couple hours. We are actually doing Stormblood content here. Everyone hides in Stormblood, although I'm running with a warrior. But, yeah, that's what we got up to. Welcome in, everybody. I'm actually surprised it took as much time as I did. I think I was just, like, spending so much time talking with you guys. I did AFK a couple times, too, to be fair, but... The mods have kept the game alive, not gonna lie. However, Indie Stone does not deserve the game. Yes, it comes from down games. Oh, right, okay, sure. Myro, hello, how you doing? Speaking of wishlist on Steam, Hades 1 was on sale for the summer sale, and Hades 2 looked interesting enough when I watched you play it, so I decided to grab 1. Yeah, look, a lot of people were pushing Hades on me, Biptech. And after playing Hades 2, I understand now, I get it, you know? Now, I don't think I'll ever play Hades 1, I have my reasons. But man, did I love Hades 2. Great story, great game, great gameplay, even on early access. Definitely gonna be excited for the full release. I think I really will play that game again when the achievements come out and stuff, you know? I think that might be a really good one to try. Time to go to work and pass out when I get back home. You gonna sleep on the train again, Miss Velvet? Have a good work day. Don't let it kick your ass too much. Enjoy stream. Alright, sounds good. Yeah? Alright. Do your thing, man. Punch Zombie is in development hell right now. Been over a year since an update, but every Thursday they tell you about the updates you're not gonna see. Interesting. Actually stopped using Dualcast due to it always crapping out on me. Oh really? You had a problem with the simulcast Immortal. Interesting. I never had a problem with it. What thingy were you using for a simulcast? I have to get to bed, but yeah, Zomboy's so fun. Sandbox Zone is just great, and it has some great systems in place for the next patch. I think when build 42 launches, it's going to pop off. Hey, no. You're good. I always say, like, you know, if I cause any issues on stream, then it's on me. The reason I want to stream is because I want to talk with you guys and, you know, have these nice conversations. So it's all good, and I appreciate you typing that out. Yeah, Warrior's pretty cool. Yeah, but yeah, no, hey, get to bed. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it, and it's nice to meet you. And hope you have a wonderful time and enjoy your Eorzea adventure when you get to like Endwalker and all that stuff. So have a good one. Okay, so looking at our board, what do we got left? One of each Magicite. Everything, like, a lot of these are Magicite related, and I just don't have it, so that's great. But funny enough, like, okay, like, even though this was a randomized board, like, I just opened it up, generated, boom, and swapped all the thingies, it may not be that easy to actually clear this board outside of actually clearing the run. I mean, the 5 patrols is good, but I'd have to get a Mimic and a Mimic, which is probably possible on higher floors. I mean, I guess our plan for this bingo was going to be on the higher floors anyway, so... But, I mean, if I had Magicites, it would have filled up a lot faster, to be fair. Hey, happy Thursday, cheers! Thank you for that, I appreciate it. I tried both OBS and Studios, for whatever reason it has Twitch side. It's just interesting. So I use Restream. And all I can tell you is that it's been fine for me. Now, I will tell you that I did have, I think, our buddy Absolute Essie, one of our friends, and actually someone who helped me do some animated emotes on my channel. I think she tried it and she had issues, but it could be a location thing. You know, it could be your server connection or something like that. So I don't know if that might help. All I can just say is that I had a good time, but it's definitely a case-to-case basis. If you find 2 webs, you can probably force the bingo with the respawn. Well, I would say the respawn is the best one in 91+. It's gotta be, right? We can add killing 5 mobs in the group. Oh, yeah, you're right. Wait, no, I did do that. Right here. Killing this one. We did that one. Oh, we can add killing 5 mobs in the group. So you mean like a big pool, 5 enemies, something like that, 5+? Maybe we could do like a set minimum. Let's see, 5+ enemy kill. Which would also lead into a landmine play, though, to be fair. But you could also manipulate this without the landmine. Also, let me do the EO one where it's kill boss with Une specifically. Kill boss with Une specifically. Okay. I tried a VPN to try and hit different servers, and it was a connection issue. Damn, it sucks. Sorry to hear that, man. You know, one thing though, Immortal, I mean, I think the whole simulcast bit, I think because now Twitch opened the doors to it, I feel like maybe something down the line will be more user-friendly. I don't know when that might happen, but that could be a thing, that like maybe something else becomes available that, you know, won't cost a leg, like your freaking limbs for it. And it could be more practical to use. So maybe something happens. Maybe OBS makes something even better, who knows, but I know Streamlabs has something. I don't use Streamlabs anymore, but I know they had something that you could do a simulcast there, but yeah, I'm just kind of tossing out ideas. Okay, I'm gonna take my first actual break here. I'm gonna stand up, I'm gonna stretch, and then we will continue the run to 61. I'll probably start buckling down a little bit more into like actually wanting to clear this run because I wanted to clear the run, not really throw the run out the window. Magicites are abysmal, but we'll figure it out, I'm sure. It's Warrior. Warrior can do a lot of things, so we'll put Warrior to the test. Yeah, New Bodum. Good song, huh? And continue the bingo. Okay. Nice start. Good start if you want to go fast, that's for sure. Oh, do I have my Magicite? Oh. 3 on Ryu. Actually, you know, this would have opened up the whole kill 5 the same way here. So Petri could make that easy. That's something interesting. Welcome back to the ads, guys. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate that. about clearing for less than a minute. You know, time manipulation was one that I had thought about too. I was actually thinking in the other direction as well. Where you would clear a floor in like 20 minutes as opposed to like 30 minutes or something. I don't think so, because depending on how you set up the card, Kenki, there could be a benefit to doing that. So for instance, like one of the blocks that we have is to see a respawn happen. And that could also help you manipulate that block, because it would benefit you from wasting time on the floor set, right? And it wouldn't be too overly difficult to manipulate a fight to kill it within like a minute, because you basically would just get it to low HP and then just do the whole fight until you run out of time. Now the likelihood of it, you know, being utilized, I guess again, it just depends on the rest of the board, but that could be something. You note that down. I'll do like time manipulation and do like both, where it's going really fast or going really slow. And like in both ends, right? So if you go really fast on like a really high set, you're gonna have to sacrifice something to make it happen. But if you go really slow, you're gonna sacrifice something else to make that happen. Something gets sacrificed either way. Time manip. Less than one minute, or faster than 20. And like that bit too is gonna be very easy to spot because you can just see it out through your timer. Not a bad idea. Safety. I will strength here. Oh, if I aggro, I will strength. Okay, that wasn't a solid object. Okay, well that's not ideal. Aw, man! Still would like to see Magicites, though. That's the thing that's going to be making this a fun run if I don't see Magicites. Had it happen only one other time. Steal again. I mean, I'll take it on the tank, it's fine. Facing. Ooh, well, that makes it easy too. Strength came back, that's great. Not defensive related. Does anyone know off the top of their head if frontline were like gives XP to the job you queue on? You queue on. So if you queue as a red mage into the duty and you load in as a red mage, you will get XP for a red mage, not when you finish the thing. I did that just today, but I've been also doing that consistently. So you're more than welcome to swap off after you go in. Now, something I did, you know, maybe it was common sense, Darth, but I didn't think of it at the time. Let me give you a scenario. So, I want XP in my red mage. So I queue up frontlines as a red mage. I get into a frontlines queue. And thus, once frontline finishes, I get XP for the red mage. I swap to Dragoon because I want a Dragoon for PvP because I'm better at it. So I swap to Dragoon once I'm inside. I get the XP for red mage, nothing for Dragoon. However, I had been doing the commendations on PvP because that was the only content I was doing. The commendations go on the job that you're currently on, not the one you queued on. So I got the commendation challenge bonus on my Dragoon instead of my Red Mage. That's the only thing you have to watch for. But I did get the regular XP and the bonus on the Red Mage. Is that clear enough for you? Of the Dragoon one, the dungeon one, and the calm one as well. Yeah, the calm one threw me off. I thought I was gonna get XP. I remember I hit the calm one in PvP, and I'm looking at my Dragoon. I'm like, wait, didn't I have like no XP in Dragoon? And then it dawned on me that the commendation went to Dragoon, not my Red Mage. You can change out in the middle of front line. You will lose battle. Oh yeah, that makes sense. It doesn't want you to kind of cheese it where you get it easy on a certain job and then like carry it into another job. That makes sense. Oh, I had to kill everything. Was there a full kill? That should be here. Full kill. But then that only really applies to like, well, that's a little bit of an RNG thing. I mean, you could manipulate the full kill to actually full kill even if the exit goes in, but maybe a full kill is not a terrible one. But I had to full kill here. I couldn't get out unless I could. See, you know what you do, Darth? You know what's a really good strat to do? Depending on what job you're taking in. If your alliance goes at something, just make sure that you just touch everything, tag them all. Just do a little bit of damage on everything, and then you just get assist bonuses, and that's how you form your battle highs. Just hoping your team just kills everything. Because, like, getting kill shots are kind of tough, but... Hey, 2Sam! Thank you for the Prime Gaming, I really appreciate that. Thank you for that support, it means a lot. Wait, it's a steal. I should pick up that steal. I ran past this like 12 times. And my steal's about to drop too. Okay. Full kill. Full... kill. Okay, Reshrunk is nice, so I guess we're moving along very nicely. It's just that I don't see the Magicites coming in. Or the Affluence. Like, this game has kind of, like, put a chokehold on me right now, because, like, I can't even try to get to the chest. Site's nice. So I will not use Landmine starting here. We won't use a Landmine starting here, so even though I did this site, I won't Landmine. As part of that mini challenge that we're doing. Because the idea here is the big question of, can you clear Warrior without a Landmine? So that's what we're going to try to go for. Hey Saber, how you doing? I'm doing well. How have you found Viper to be in Heaven on High? Rough. It's a tough one. Like, at best I can tell you, it's a mediocre job. It can do the work. Dread Winder was pretty good. A lot better than whatever it had at 60. But, you know, you still don't have any defenses. The damage really didn't feel as powerful as some of the other melee, so it was quite the ride, but we cleared. So I mean, you know, sometimes Saber, I feel like that's all you need to know. At the end of the day, can you clear with it, you know? Is it that much harder? I didn't think it was that much harder. It was hard, but not that much harder. Yeah, like, you have to really consider a lot of, like, stagger kiting. Like, okay, here's one thing that I definitely remember, Saber, that was kind of jarring, I guess, is, like, Ninja, which I took in, actually, recently, like, a few days ago I took a Ninja. I think Monday we took a Ninja? Anyway. I could do an 81 plus Mimic on Ninja, no steal, comfortably. Like, I've done it before, we can handle it, because of what it possesses in terms of its kit. In terms of, Viper, I was having a problem on 71 plus Mimics. Like, I was not comfortable on 71 plus Mimics without steal. To give you that kind of, perspective. You know, so, like, I felt like I was maybe more reliant on steal for Viper than, say, Ninja. But then you're talking about a job that, Viper, which has, you know, no extra mobility, and Ninja, which has some of the best mobility with Sakuchi, etc. So, strength. Putting myself in an odd spot here. Security. Tuition. Steal. I would kind of like that steal, and this I think was a strength too. 2 blockage. I kind of want to fresh. Oh, that's flight. Yeah, I at least want the flight. Maybe I can go. I think I'll be fine with the steal, but I do want that flight. No, missed the treasure room on the exit. That was close. It was just one room away. That's a dead end. Frailty? Okay. That's a dead end plus the exit. I'm gonna check one more chest here before I pop the frailty. Maybe I checked more. Yeah, frailty. That's a little too early. Hey, Miss Alchemy! Why, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the read. Oh my god, 34 months. Thank you, thank you. Hope the rest of your MSQ was fantastic. Box, hey, thanks for follow-up. I'll get you the shout-out in a second here. Good time to shout-out. Welcome in, guys! Guys, that is my very, very good friend and good streamer buddy, Miss Alchemy. My teammate over Team Drifter. But she has been a wonderful, wonderful friend, and she's kicking ass with her channel. She was doing some MSQ up until, I don't know if you got up to, if you started tapping into the 98 level, because I'm just at 98 right now with my MSQs. I don't know if you got there or just missed it or something, but you're into it. Okay, okay, so you might be a little bit ahead of me now. I'm gonna be able to work on it a little bit more, but, hope you liked it. I will, if anything, I'll DM you about it, because I won't really ask you about details, but, hope you had a good time, and, thanks for bringing the crew over. Angela's Day Minutes here, we do a lot of Deep Dungeon. We are also MSQ spoiler free, so you are definitely safe from anything ahead of her, anything behind her, whatever it might be. I will just not be talking about it on our channel over here. And I hope, you had a good time over there. What you've walked into, also sell for that Thank you for that follow. And Zamoka, good to see you. What you walked into is we're doing a Warrior Heaven on High, which is one of the popular Heaven on High jobs, and we're trying to do it without landmines because that was a little bit of a request from some people asking, hey, could you do Warrior without landmines? So we're doing it. Inadvertently, we're probably going to end up doing it without Magicites too, not on purpose. But that's just how the run's going. And we're also trying out a new thing, a new idea that we're tossing out there, which is what we're calling Deep Dungeon Bingo. And we have a board here that we're trying to see if we can fill for funsies. I'm also fielding ideas in terms of what you think is a cool challenge, so on and so forth, how to execute it, and it's just really open field for brainstorming and theory crafting. So if you wish to participate in either looking for the actual challenge, or if you have some ideas for it, I have very open ears for it. And I would like this kind of to be something that people can use for charity runs, speedrun events, something to that effect, but today is the day we start this off and see where it happens for it, so that's what you walked into. Miss Alchemy, by the way, if you're gonna do all your post stuff, you know the drill. You know, pet the cats, eat some food, walk the cats, whatever it might be. King J, thank you for the follow, welcome. Is there a too long don't read for 170 summon? I haven't been that high because I just got back to the game. I was seeing something about sprinting at a certain point. Yes. So the easy strategy that you can do is that the opening attack that it does is what gives you a weight status. And the weight status basically I can't do it. But the weight status puts like a 15-second wait on you, which is also designed to wombo combo that its other puddle attack, AoE. If you don't do anything, you're going to get hit with it guaranteed. So generally what they do is like at about maybe 10 seconds you would sprint, or after its tank buster you would sprint, maybe about after like, yeah, about 5 seconds or so, you would hit your sprint and then you'd have your sprint for the movement of the puddle coming in. I think extra notes, which might be pertinent, might be a little complicated. However, if you use your shielding to block the attack that gives you the weights, it will block the attack, but it doesn't stop the weight from coming in on the next time it uses it, so you just have to be careful there that, like, if you shield it, you're just delaying the inevitable in a way, if that makes sense. But, yeah, there you go. I still can't get a Magicite. Ephelio, thank you for the follow, welcome in. Welcome in, guys. Sit back, relax. Our plan is to go to 100, and to kind of give you a showcase of how Warrior is in Heaven on High, and this is my first time back on Warrior for Heaven on High in Dawntrail. And Warrior is one of the popular jobs for Heaven on High clears for a lot of people. You'll definitely see quite a number of lone heroes get them on Warrior, so we're just kind of, I guess, showing you why and giving it a little bit of an extra challenge on top of the extra idea of the bingo thing. So got a lot going on today. I think it's 10. I believe it's 10. In terms of 10 seconds, in terms of the weight debuff, because I believe the weight debuff is 15 seconds. So you wait for that to hit 10 seconds and then you sprint there. It's either 10 or 8 seconds, but I would say watch the video too just to get an idea, but yeah, if that's what you want to work with, then there you go. Square idea, double or triple into common mimic. Well, we do have the mimic in a mimic, so that could be a thing. I mean, you could up it to like a triple rather, but that would be very rare. I think that's going to be too RNG based. Now you could also do, although alternatively RMX, you can do on a floor, see like 2 mimics or 3 mimics, like maybe 3 mimics on a floor, right? So that you would go into a floor, then boom, you pop 3 chests and 3 mimics. That you can maybe go to 3. I think mimic and a mimic 2 is fair. Because 3 is, I mean, the most I've ever seen is 3, and I don't even see that very often, so, yeah, no, it's okay, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, the wording is different, right? Because, like, maybe you, in your head, RMX, you were thinking double mimic, triple mimic in that wording, whereas we have it as mimic in a mimic, you know? It's completely fair. Easily missable. What about Gloom plus 2 debuffs? That would be RNG, but pretty common. I mean, a triple... Okay, but the thing with the triple debuff, though, you'd have to maybe be a little bit more specific, only because 99 is going to be a guaranteed triple enchantment. So maybe it has to be a triple negative, as opposed to like a positive and a negative. Maybe you could do that one. You know, that could be a possibility. Hold on, I need to focus in on the jellyfish, but they will hurt if I do not pay attention. Could be 7 a landmine without site active, work as a square. Or with conceal, make it too easy to look around. Well, you can't look around for traps on conceal. Because if you're saying without a sight, then, you know, conceal is kind of a moot point. I mean, if you hit one of the traps blind, then that could be an interesting one too. I like that one. Those are all good RNG ones for sure. What's the slowest Heaven on High job? I'd probably say Astro. Yeah, Astro is probably what you're looking at for, I guess you could say, slow. Yeah, I think without a doubt it's probably Astro. Alright, so I had triple debuff all negative, and then we had hitting a trap without sight. Put those in. And I think the one that would be interesting is hitting that trap without sight, is because you could forcibly hit a trap, but if you just hit the wrong one, or like if you hit like a luring and a bad floor, then it could cause some complications, right? Run through the middle of the rooms of floor 1 without sight safety. Well, without hitting a trap or with hitting a trap? What if I would like to think it's probably like running down the middle and then hitting a trap. That's how I would think of it. All of a sudden we're going slow again. I don't like this. Okay, so we had, what is it? Triple negative debuff, sightless trap. Okay. Still no Magicite. And also follow up, Darth. Still no freaking affluence either. For that, you know, had one affluence this entire run. Lighted big room for RNG goal. Lighted big room. Oh man, that's rare. Interesting. Well, you probably manipulate that on like maybe the 90s because of the high chance of that. But that would still be interesting. I mean, if you're isolating the run, what's up, Hustle Boot? If you're isolating the run in like 81 to 100, then yeah, that becomes a play to try to force out. Or you just hit it and it just becomes RNG. No. Oh, Petri. Oh, then I just do this. I want to check the chests for see if we get mimics. Yeah, let me just surrender and dispense. Sounds like a great idea. I really suck that I try to type fast on my phone. Every time I try to type fast, I type even slower. It's so irritating. Oh, we got a flick. Oh, there's my mimic. Oh, there's another chest here. I'm really hunting for chests, man. Like, I'm actually going for these kills so I can try to get chests. Ay. Lighted big room. Oh my god, I can't type. Dude, can we not? Okay, I can't with my phone right now. How goes the stuff you're doing? Hey Kishi. So far so good. I mean, outside of the lack of Magicites, it's been pretty good. Chest man? Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I bumped my microphone. Did we get any of those? No, we didn't get a Mimic and a Mimic. No Treasure Room exit, no Altered Room. Oh, that flight. Fortune Magicite Big Room? Oh yeah, I'm gonna get that like next floor. Find 2 wipes on the same floor. I don't think I've seen that. Ooh, but we might get a silver chest here. 1 of each Magicite. Yeah, that's coming in soon. Serenity, hold. Oh my god. Gotta love chest day. Definitely made up some time here. Big time. Ooh, near. Switching could come into play. Still no Magicite. Day 19. Love this horse set. Starts to get spicy. And it's even more spicy when you don't have any Magicites. Oh, this was flighted. Right, that's why it mounts so fast. Pretty sure I'm safe from this. I reached final zone MSQ, so probably after today I'll have what's it. Nice! Yeah, I'm thinking like by the time people start diving back into Deep Dungeon, maybe we have like a refined bingo card if anyone wants to like actually give it some entertainment. So like I feel like we're timing this decently well. Any 20 Magicites in Heaven on High? I couldn't tell you, I don't have any. So the way I would spend a Magicite, now first and foremost, I would prefer to spend them more on like starting at 81 plus. I've actually been very, oh shit, dude, I don't remember what my interrupt was. Like a lot of my more recent runs, I'm only finding myself spending Magicites on like 81 plus, if then. But my execution is, 1, if my Serenity is at 2, or if I get a really bad debuff, I will use the Magicite to get off that floor. So like you think of it almost like as a Serenity, right? So let's say you get like a Gloom, no item, no ability floor, or something like that. Instead of using a Serenity, you use a floor wipe if you're at 3 or even 2 Magicite and get off that floor to save yourself some time. Instead of like having the answer always be a Serenity every time the floor is bad, you would consider popping out the, pushing a Magicite from 3 to 2. And the concept is here. This is where the original concept of this came from for me, Fox. Imagine you go to a floor and you spend 10 minutes on that floor, fighting your ass off, getting all the kills. Your Magicites are capped. And then you get to the end of the floor, and then you find a Magicite at the exit, after 10 minutes. Like, that kind of sucks, especially for Heaven on High. So there is this value of keeping a lot of your palms at 2 versus 3, so you don't have that overcap. And that's why, to me, it justifies having to push the Magicite to 2, as opposed to keeping it to 3. Now, there is a possibility you don't see it again, like in our case where we don't see a Magicite. But I feel like the risk of that is worth it for getting the time save and the usefulness of that Pomander. I mean, really, when it comes to Heaven on High, in my opinion, the way you get through Heaven on High is maximizing the efficiency of every Pomander that you use. Like, if you use a Strength, you get the full 8 minutes out of it. If you use a Frailty, you get the full 3 minutes out of it. Like, you don't use it for, like, one enemy, and then the rest of it gets wasted. And once you get to that point, I think that's where, you get a lot of more consistent and a lot more value out of all your Pomanders. If that makes sense. Hey, go not gently. It's going well so far. I mean, Warrior's Warrior. I'm very comfortable on Warrior. So this is going to be a smooth run no matter what really happens, even though we don't have any Magicites, but it's going to be interesting. And actually, really starting on the next set is where it gets even further interesting, because I will purposely not be using Landmines at all on this run. It was a bit of a request, you know, common question, hey, do you have to do Landmines on Warrior? And, well, today is the day where we do without it and see what we can do. So I'm going to handle this like I'm a melee. You know, we'll do this like a melee run, and we'll see what Warrior can give us. Hey Sandfell, bingo for Deep Dungeon. Been watching a lot of Elden Ring. But yeah, you know, Elvis had been talking about that there's been a lot of bingo from Elden Ring. I don't watch Elden Ring at all, but you know, so the idea to me kind of sprung up because I was watching a GDQ run, this on SGDQ. I don't remember the game that they were doing, but basically for the speed run, it was a bingo competition. And they hyped it up pretty much a lot. So I thought, hey, well, I mean, we could totally do it for Deep Dungeon, and maybe that's an avenue to get it into shows like that, you know, events like that. And so this is our starting kit for this. You know, we're just trying out this base one first, seeing if people like it, people want to try them out, if people have suggestions, so on and so forth. So yeah, so that's what you're seeing now. I think it's been pretty cool so far. I mean, we did do some of them forcibly, like we actually got into the situation and then went for it and all that stuff to try to check it off. But it's been pretty cool so far. Hank, it's okay, dude. You'll get there eventually. Before you know it, man. You'll be getting clears and stuff, but it'll take some time to get there. Oh my god, I still don't have a Magicite. Good way to add some novelty to the runs. Yeah, I think so. I think it might. I mean, what I'm hoping for too is that it'll add some excitement in general to like more like a general audience as well. You know, maybe something a little bit more understandable to someone who may not be as deep into Deep Dungeon as some of us are. At least that's what I'm thinking about. More approachable. Like even like you can have bingo cards that are going to be more for like the novice runner. Maybe even for a light party, you know? And then it'll also be functional for, like, the competitive guys and everything, you know, in a run. So, I would like to do it for all the Deep Dungeons. Hanky, I guess the way you can look at it is we just have to start somewhere. So this is where we're starting with, you know. Let's just get one down. Let's try to get the foundation set up and then start thinking about the other ones. But it's like it's pretty daunting already to try to narrow it down to something for now. But we're definitely I'm feeling like this is like where we refine it a little bit. Get a little bit more feel on how it goes. And then try to refine some of the different categories that are in here. I'm so blind for Heaven on High, trying to get my Twitch. Nice, okay. So yeah, definitely don't get any spoilers, but you know, we're gonna move our way through. But yeah, blind Heaven on High is definitely an experiment. And if you're able to do that, I do hope you have a good time. Man, after clearing the last set with 8 minutes on the clock, now we have 25 into the last floor here. It's kind of such a big difference. I'm not complaining, but it's kind of funny. Oh no, it's 2 of them! Not 2 broccoli. Not 2 broccoli. Perfect time to see a respawn. That's true, I could. No, I'm probably gonna do that over at 91 plus because that's more than likely gonna happen over there. Might need some advice for streaming, but I'll put up. Yeah. Ask it in Discord, and if the other guys don't get it, I'll be happy to offer whatever I got. Okay. Good battle theme. A steel? I'll use the steel for the boss later. Not that I need it, but it'll be nice. Okay, I do want to get the... I can probably just go get the steel now while I try to navigate through this floor. Guess we'll just fortune 2. Bring in the in-game music here. Boop, 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 boop. Did I alter this? I feel like I altered this. Yeah, one of these rooms are altered. Altered treasure room is in the bit. That's about it. Oh, it was right in front of me. I didn't even look. Oh my god, dude. I didn't even look at the enemies in here. Something is walking. Ooh, Petri. Okay. Is that a treasure room exit? That is a treasure room exit. Look, we got a line on the G, but I'll keep ticking it off. So it took me about 3 hours to get to at least one line. Nice. But we'll keep ticking it off. There you go. We got bingo. Bingo! Now, do I get a... Nope. I'll sight. I just used the sight to find an exit that was in the room, same room as you. Oh no! It's alright, you know what? It happens. It's fine. It happens to the best of us. Get everything? How much time's left? I have no idea. I'll just stop here. That is a fortune, right? Okay. Oh, look at all the silver chests. Damn. All my chances to get a... All my chances to get a Magicite are right here. Holy moly. Do mobs have to be envisioned to be affected by pressure? Nope. It affects the entire floor. Now, you want to have time to actually get to it, right? Because it's only 30 seconds. But, nope, it affects the whole floor. Alright, time for the boss. I returned from my lurk into my PC though. Oh, rip. A lot. I guess everyone's getting updates out. I know one of my other PCs had an update. I'm just using my mind and yeah, that's died down. At least the music's not bad, maybe? I guess when you're in combat, it's not that bad. Mine did update today too. Yeah, I know one of my other PCs had an update as well. I guess it was just the thing for everybody. Like, my video editor, Ada, unfortunately had an update while they were trying to upload a video overnight, so rip. I wish that was a mechanic, that would be kind of fun. You would have been livid? Well, Ada was livid. So generally speaking, my palms are pretty pristine, minus the lack of Magicites. So I can't really complain that much. And we'll definitely be working Warrior quite a bit, because we have to make up for the lack of Magicites now. Maybe they start showing up later, I don't know. But again, we are going without Landmines, as kind of per request here. So we do have to make up the time differently than if we were to do Landmines. Usually Landmines would be a big time save if you're able to do them, but I think it is a completely fair question and a completely fair thing that if just for some reason you are not comfortable on Landmines, then, you know, there are other ways to get through. And I think that in itself is what's beautiful about this game mode, is that there are multiple ways to win. So in this case, it's more about showcasing said multiple ways to make it happen. Now, we did demonstrate a Landmine play back on, like, the 31 plus score. So if you're ever interested in that, that might be there. I mean, I've had other... Well, my videos will all have Landmines as well, but, this will be a different one. I went from level 1 to level 60! Wow! Don't have to worry about those low level scores, so... Is Diadem good for leveling from 91 up or not? Probably not. Like, what would be the fastest way to level, like, Botany and Miner at the moment? From what you guys have seen. Collectibles? So it's still collectibles? Leaves and... Yeah, leaves are really good. Collectibles? Sure. Rocker. That's what it's always been, I think, right? And I know, like, it was interesting to see in the patch notes. I think I saw this little bit in the patch notes where, they said that there were no repeatable leaves. Like the ones where you can put in like a whole bunch of like the same item or something. I thought that was interesting that they put that in there. Billy is huge. Oh yeah, if you're not going like super grindy, that's probably a good one. Oh, thank you for that, guys. Yeah, I'm currently not caring about crafting. I used to. But it's been like 2.5 years since I tried to level my stuff, and I think I did do like a mix of like Grand Company, collectibles, I think. Mix in the leaves here and there. So I think it was I had to mix it in because especially when you're working on all the crafting, at some point you'd actually would run out of leaves, I think, right? You'd have to mix it all in. I maxed out all 3 gatherers in a couple of hours. Slowest was fishing. Slowest was fishing? Interesting. I actually saw some guys like level fishing really fast. Oh, well you said a couple of hours. Okay. I guess if you're talking about a couple of hours, then fishing would maybe take a little bit more than that. And I think fishing you guys would do with like the boats, I think, right? Ocean fishing was the way to go. That's what I heard. Like 6 hours max to the boat. Gotcha, okay. I wish it wasn't that fast. Like, I'd like a good grind. I don't want to be done in like, 3 hours. Like, oh, climb 100. There we go. But, hey, Rando. We did get bingo, but we're gonna still keep hitting them things if I can trigger some of the other ones. Took me about 3 hours, honestly, not bad. And I was like technically not actively trying. We got a couple that I did go out of my way for, but not too bad. That was only because I used these for botany and mining. These are definitely the fastest. Gotcha. Oh yeah, I think that's what it was, because if you're like splitting it up between the gatherers and the crafters, you only had so much to go around, so that's why collectibles were like a good option, because you could at least distribute it that way.